Hello, internet world. Welcome to D&D Burlesque with Girl Burlesque and friends. I'm Jordan. You see me on this channel all the time, so I'll keep my introduction brief. But Girl Burlesque had this awesome D&D show planned, and unfortunate events I don't want to discuss changed things. And instead, we're going to play a little D&D online with everybody. And I think you're going to find it's going to be a good time. So I'm going to go around. I'll just point at folks. You won't be able to tell who I'm pointing at, but I will just say a name out loud, and then you can tell us your name, your handle, and the character you're playing, and then we'll start right into the game. So the first person clockwise is Loretta.
Hi, everyone. I'm Loretta Jean. My pronouns are she, her, they, them. Today, I'm going to be playing Astrid, who is a half, as I like to say, half-elf druid.
Awesome. Next up is Reddy.
Hi, I'm ready to rumble, and my pronouns are she, her, and today I will be playing Brewmaster Whiskers, also known as BMW, and wow. I'm a cat person who fights people. Monk.
A cat person who fights people is the best ever. And then next up is Eden.
Hi, I am Eden Draconis. I will be playing a Dragonborn Paladin named Vex Lixbane. I know my character.
You made up your character, so you can call him whatever you want, whenever you want.
True.
You can even call them late for dinner. Next up, I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time. Next up is Helen.
Hi, I'm Helen of Tirana. You can find me under that name on the usual social medias. I am playing Kevin, a bugbear rogue. I got the name out of a fantasy name generator. It sounded very fantastical, and here we go.
It literally was from a bugbear name generator, right?
No, it was actually a werewolf name generator.
Oh, werewolf name generator, right. Still, it just came up Kevin. Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
It just hyphen in different places. Fanny, tell us a little bit about you.
Why, hello, everyone. My name is Fanny Fulhamwider. My pronouns are they, them. But in this case, I'm a he, him. And mine is Slavano the Great Ham. I am the world-renowned chef of this group. I will be cooking fabulous meals. I am a halfling bard. So I sing also. So you get to have some wonderful, wonderful times.
And last but not least, we've got Scarlett.
Hi, I'm Scarlett LaFlamme, and I am playing Lady Briseis Fourflame. She is a tiefling noblewoman who's also a draconic sorcerer, the only one in her family.
Mm-hmm. A very complicated backstory for Lady Briseis that may or may not sneak into our game here. Right, so you should be hearing a little bit of, the audience at home should be hearing a little bit of tavern-y kind of sounds, and we're going to dive right into it unless there's something that I'm missing, because there always is. But yeah, we're going to play some D&D. We've got some newer players here, so bear with us. There might be some rules learning, and that is A-okay. So let me set the scene. You are all employees of the Featherbottom Tavern. It is a huge, like mansion-sized building that resides at the top of a hill. That is basically the most popular stop on the trip between these two towns, and it is run by a large, boisterous Gallus woman. Gallus are chicken people. Named Francesca, Lady Francesca Featherbottom. She is boisterous and loves to throw a good party, and you are all her much beloved staff. The main hall of Featherbottom Tavern, it has a big stage, full curtain set up and everything, and pretty regularly bands are playing and things. But tonight is the first ever Featherbottom Variety Revue, and you all have decided that it's time to kind of shake things up. So there's going to be a big show tonight, and so we're going to start kind of in the morning the day of, where all of you are sort of just getting ready. So I want you to tell me. We're gonna go around, and I'm gonna everyone to tell us a little bit about what their character looks like, and a little bit about what they're up to. We've discussed who's doing what job, so tell us the kind of things you're doing, and tell us what a day, just the beginning of a day, might look like for you. In a couple of sentences, so that the folks at home can get an idea. And I'll introduce other characters as needed. All right. So let's do reverse order. Let's talk to Lady Briseis. Whiskers, your barkeep. Yeah. So Lady Briseis.
So I am not a staff member, but I am here because I have a secret, not so secret, but forbidden lover that my parents and his parents do not want us to marry. But we sneak around and we figure that our families and our class aren't really going to be hanging out here. So this is our favorite sort of place to meet up. And we know all the staff.
So you're maybe having a brunch or something.
We're having a brunch. Sometimes we get a room upstairs, but right now we've just gotten here and we're just, yeah.
Okay, you scoot into a booth, and I'm assuming you've befriended all of the staff.
We come here a lot.
Yeah, and imagine you're very popular with them. Yeah, okay. And what do you look like?
Do I say what I look like? Okay, so I guess I'm dressed noble casual, not a bar, not for a ball, but a little bit fancy.
Puffy shirt on top, sweatpants on bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a tiefling with curling horns. I have long dark red hair. White skin, gold eyes, about 5'9", kind of lithe, I guess, muscular, but not overtly.
Okay. So you and Timon scoot into a booth. I imagine you're gonna split a malt or something, like a milkshake or something like that.
Sure.
So you'll sit across from each other.
Yeah.
All right. Back in the kitchen, cooking. Who's the main chef? I have to remember to say chef because I think.
I do. We have to remember to say chef.
Yeah, because I think I'll get yelled at if I say cook. The head chef, Silvano the Golden Ham, is in the back. I presume because you're a halfling, and this is not a dig at your size, but I presume that you would have to set up sort of a bench system that you can get around all the counters very easily in the back.
There are definitely some stepping stools.
Yeah.
And, I make it work. I had to redesign the whole kitchen. I had to redo it myself. It was just a mess before I got there. It was an absolute mess.
The Featherbottom Tavern was built for a 6-foot-tall chicken woman, so a 2.5-foot-tall halfling is going to have some adjustments. But presumably you're working the breakfast brunch rush, and
yes, the greatest breakfast in the land.
So give us a little description of Silvano.
So in the morning I wake up, I put on my makeup, I put on my fresh face because of where I came from. It is very important to take care of yourself and to make sure that you look right, because even though I may be in the back, you're always looking at the front. So this face.
I'd like to think that you have that embroidered on something and it's hanging back there. So I picture it hanging over your workstation, and you kind of, it's this affirmation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I like it.
You have to put your face on, you put on your proper things. So we are very proper back there.
Silvano, what's the brunch special this morning?
Today we have a quail egg put in another small handmade bowl of bread that I handcrafted myself out of my little hands. Now, I thought it was a big bowl. As it turns out, it's actually quite small because my hands are small. So it is a miniature.
It could be a small plates brunch.
Well, it was not a small plate for me, sir.
Right, obviously.
It was not a small plate for me. I thought it was a big hearty brunch. It was not.
Okay.
So I diced up some mashed potatoes, put them on the grill, made it look a lot larger. But of course, I got hungry because a quail egg takes a long time to make. So I started feasting. Sometimes my customers do know that if I do not like you, there may be a bite out of your dinner. But you never send it back because, by God, you won't get one again. So that's pretty much so.
The upside of the small plates, which you don't think are small, is that people keep ordering more than one because they're not full on just one quail egg. So lots of money is coming in. And Miss Featherbottom, Lady Featherbottom, who's like up on, I imagine sort of like this Western kind of saloon balcony around the edge too, so like on the second story, maybe there's there's an inn up there, and she's looking down. Very proud, white feathered chicken woman is nodding as she sees each person ordering 3 or 4 breakfast specials. There's a half orc that's ordered 8, and it's just at a gold piece each. That's quite a lot of money coming in.
Jordan, what type of attire does she wear?
Lady Featherbottom.
Yes, I'm curious.
She is. She's in like full house madam kind of gear.
Yes.
She's covered in feathers and yet still has extra feathers just around everything. She has a huge feather collar that goes that just augments her own, and yeah, she's in like it's like baby blue all the way. She looks like a robin. It's the color of robin's eggs, But she's very proud chicken lady, and a very small little pair of brass glasses, brass rim little glasses that are on a opera stick, like opera glasses kind of thing. That she's just like looking down over the operation, the day-to-day operation.
I'm somehow like picturing Foghorn Leghorn in a dress.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of Foghorn Leghorn in drag, but you know what? She's basically Foghorn Leghorn in drag because I think that's a voice I could do. So we'll see how that goes. Made some notes, but I invent most of my stuff on the fly. So because of all the orders, there is a large furry person who is going around. Just massive long arms filled with plates of quail eggs. So Kevin, tell us a little bit about the bugbear that is the main server, the head server here at the tavern.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I was largely hired because of my good reach to help Silvano in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working at the tavern. I'm working as a server to put myself through university. I'm majoring in humanities with a minor in dwarf studies and elvities. I wanted to go to fantasy law school, but I failed the charisma check.
Do we have a D&D pun joke monitor in the chat? No? Okay. The booths are really deep at the tavern, so long-armed Kevin is really good at getting plates down to where they need to be without... they drag fur through it all, but, it's Fantasy Town.
That's fiber.
That's Fantasyland for you. So for those folks who don't necessarily know what a bugbear is, they're huge. If you can think of Lon Chaney as Wolfman, they're just that, but like 2 feet taller. However, you would find that Kevin is very good at sneaking up at your table, suspiciously so. All right. Standing at the front door, or near the front door, keeping an eye on things, maybe arms crossed, leaning back, is Vex Lichesbane. Lichesbane?
Lixbane?
Lixbane? Lixbane. Let's hear a little bit about Vex.
So, being a paladin and being head security at this breakfast place and bar, I get up very early. And when I go and get breakfast, it's very difficult, and I have to remind our wonderful halfling chef that people need more food. However, hey, it's wonderful food. I just need more portions, okay?
Are you yelling this across the place? Like, speed it up with the eggs already, yeah.
Possibly, but I try not to wake anyone up.
Right.
So during the earlier hours, I will probably be walking around less in my chainmail, more in my noble wear, not trying to creep people out. That there's, a giant dragonborn of gold scales and whatnot walking around. However, go ahead.
It's the nighttime crowd that probably causes more problems, right?
Theoretically, right?
Yeah.
So as the evening comes on, that's when the chainmail comes out, and I get to stand by the door, scowling at people who just don't meet my standard of customers.
But you don't have the power to kick people out. I imagine Featherbottom.
That's true.
Featherbottom is pretty. Well, you have the power to kick people out if Featherbottom says so. But she has a tendency, and based even just on the staff, to kind of just be friendly to almost anyone who's willing to come in and be civil. And when you meet some of the other NPCs that work here, we'll see. So, all right, Vex, our bouncer, standing at the door, looking down her her snout at the customers as they come in. All right, next up. There is no serving laws in Fantasyland. Booze is available 24 hours a day, and that means even at the busy brunch, Brewmaster Whiskers is probably still the busiest. So you're behind the bar, which is just off to the side of the stage. Tell us a little bit about what you're up to. Do you prefer being called Whiskers, or do you want me to call you Brewmaster? Is that your official title?
I can go with Whiskers.
Whiskers, okay. Good.
Easy going.
Perfect.
So today it's all Caesars, nonstop, just
Right.
Caesars after Caesars.
Well, it's brunch.
They take, yeah, now as soon as someone sees it, we really need to invest in a Caesar bar because then they could just make it themselves. There are literally no rules here. It would save so much time.
Yeah. Bring your own Caesar night, maybe even.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Mix up the time.
That's right, yeah.
1 to 2 a.m., 3 to 4 p.m. I like it.
That's right.
So obviously everyone comes here for wonderful libations that make me feel very confident to know that we can so quickly make someone's day. But I'm also very charming, so when it's time to cut someone off because for their own good, I'm able to do it in a way that they still want to come back every time.
Caesar, I'm going to say, is called a Coralon, which is the elven god. So they're demanding Coralons left and right.
Excellent.
Bloody Coralons.
Bloody Horolons.
Yeah. So you actually have a person helping, or a person, I guess they're a person helping at the bar. Wandering up and down the bar, very drunk themselves, is a small, almost like a homunculus kind of little creature. It looks like a little gremlin that is named Welly. He is the alehouse. He is an alehouse gremlin, which is a common thing in the bigger alehouses. However, he partakes too much in the booze himself, and is often just completely drunk. Most of the time, he's maybe like 9 inches tall, and he can get a shot to somebody. He's not particularly useful. There is a sled that you can attach to him that he can drag down the bar to drop off beers. But yeah. So while you're trying to do things, he's trying to get his head into whatever drinks you're serving. And he has this kind of like... Who
hired this gremlin? Like, this is a family tradition? Like, was I willed this gremlin?
He was summoned. He is a summoned...
By who? How do we pay him?
As part of the licensing for these taverns, if you get big enough, and you can request an alehouse gremlin, but you're kind of at the whim of the cosmos as to what shows up. And on that note, he loves Cosmos. But yeah, so he's just like, this is a voice that I know Delicia really loves, so I'm going to be doing it a lot.
Please do.
She's our other producer who's out in the crowd right now. So yeah.
Oh no, I feel like charm doesn't work. That's my skill, talking in and out and looking like a sexy pilot.
Yeah, he doesn't really care. His hand is already in the drink. He's stolen the celery. And occasionally he'll drag a drink over to someone for you. So while he's there, he's at your service. Ornery little drunk.
Thank you.
All right, and now last but not least, we've got Astrid, who I presume there is a band playing. It's an all kobold band. A lot of your staff, like servers and stuff, are kobolds and goblins and things. Creatures that don't tend to get a lot of work elsewise. So yeah, it's like a little jazz band that's playing, and Astrid, maybe you're up there dancing. I don't know. Tell us what you're up to.
Yeah, so Astrid was actually originally brought in as a druid to help with pest control in this particular location. Bit of a like Pied Piper situation, like, get all these mice and rats and whatever.
Get them out or get them to work,
Yeah, no, for sure. If you can put a tiny apron on the rat, like. Yeah,
I can imagine Silvano with a ratatouille situation going on back there, where there's just like rats and mice just helping cook. That's, again, all are welcome at the Featherbottom Tavern. So.
Yeah, so I was, that was good, but I kind of liked the vibe, and I think that this is very much a space for misfits and, not really fitting into the human world, feeling like I don't really fit into the elf world, always been a bit of a misfit. And I just like really, felt connected to this group of black sheep here, which are coincidentally another animal that I sometimes talk to. We've got some of those out back behind, and that's where, the cooks go out. The little, I'm picturing them as, like the rats from Muppets.
Yeah.
Like Muppets Take Manhattan, and they're all working.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So they're out there, but like, they're all having a smoke break back there with the, because, brunch is the worst. That brunch rush.
Pizza rats eating a little pizza. Yeah,
Exactly. And for them, of course, Silvano's brunch special, the quail egg, is a good portion for rat, but maybe not for the other patrons. Anyway, so I was originally brought in for that, and then I kind of just started showing up every single day, and the proprietor, she was like down with it. She's like, well, you got any other skills? And I was like, I don't know, I can do like a little bit of magic. Let me see what I can do. But really, I'm very excited about our show today because I finally get to show off what my real skill is, which is that I am an amateur belly dancer, and I also dance with my pet snake Ashira.
Ooh. The rest of the employees and stuff all know that this is happening. It's just maybe the audience isn't ready for it yet.
Yeah, they're maybe not sure, and some of the rats are feeling a little bit nervous about me bringing the snake out. Like normally she just like kind of chills in my room. So
understandably, yeah. But these rats smoke, so I'm pretty sure they can probably. I'm pretty sure they've also got switchblades, so I'm sure they can handle themselves. These rats are elevated somewhat. So since you started creating shows, a couple of extra crew has been brought on, basically a little stage crew. There's Bonnie. She's an ogre. She's about 8 feet tall. She tries to dress like your typical barmaid, but a lot of her stuff has like patches along the sides, so that because she has to kind of alter human clothes to fit. She is very kind and also does a little bit of baking, so she often comes in and brings treats. And then her colleague is Bosco. He's a hobgoblin. He's dressed kind of like a newsie a lot of the time. He usually has big work gloves on. He doesn't say a whole lot, but he's really good at moving stuff around. And right now they're doing, they're setting up, the local Artificers Guild got commissioned to build basically a magical mic and speaker setup for the show tonight, because there's going to be such a wide variety, and Featherbottom needs somewhere to talk. So that's the first thing that how the morning is going to continue, or afternoon is going to be announced, is that Featherbottom very dramatically and very slowly comes down from the top. She's waving, even though no one is really paying attention, because they're all engrossed in the quail's eggs. And she says, well, she gets up to the mic, and she says, now I hope that you are all enjoying your breakfast. The quail eggs seem to be enticing your tongues, and I appreciate that some of you are ordering the whole dozen eggs. So keep it up. That's the kind of thinking that will keep us in business. And everyone is kind of shocked because everyone turns to look over because her voice is like carried through the whole place, and the place is very loud, even in the morning, and yet this magical setup has allowed her voice to carry. She says, I entice you to stay through lunch. Order as many lunch specials as you should desire. And also tonight we launch our first review, and I am just so proud of everyone who's been involved. So please just spend all day here drinking and eating, and then maybe enjoy the show. And she waves, and there's like some cheering and clapping and stuff. And she kind of looks over at Astrid and the crew and winks, and then goes back up to her position up at the top, her roost, I guess we could call it. There is some adjustments that have to be made, and Bosco is turning knobs on the new speaker system, and then there's like a feedback squeal, and then you hear a sound outside It's just a swear. Ah, shite! It's happened again. And it's from the loading bay. It's from the loading bay where in the back of the kitchen where things get dropped off. You have an old wagon driver named Farnsworth who brings loads of food and booze, and a booze delivery is expected this morning because stocks have been running low. So this is the kind of thing that would make all of you, because Farnsworth is old and he mucks things up all the time. So this is probably a situation where you might want to go investigate. So you go investigate, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Would you like us to roll initiative on that? You were saying that before. But...
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what? I'll get you there. You can see the scene, and then we'll probably get you all to roll initiative.
Okay.
So you get out there, and Farnsworth is an old dwarf, old even by dwarf standards. I mean, dwarves live for hundreds of years, but he's got to be 450 years old. He's almost entirely beard, and his eyebrows have just grown as such that you can't see his eyes. He's like those dogs that haven't had haircuts in a long time. But his eyes are wide because he's like, I'm sorry, it happened again. And he like points down the hill that your place is on, and the wagon, which he had just disconnected from a couple of goats, is rolling backwards with 8 barrels of booze, of whiskey, down the hill. This is the booze for tonight. And even if the show doesn't go well, you want everyone to be drunk, and then they'll think it's good. You have to get this wagon before it crashes into the stone wall. Crashes through the stone wall and off the cliff down into the sort of ravine. This is a very scenic place, but it's also an extremely dangerous place to lose control of your wagon. So I'm gonna get everyone to roll initiative for me. So for new folks to D&D Beyond, you can see near the top middle of your page, the very top middle, there's a little box that says initiative. You're going to take your D20 and you're going to add that bonus to the result.
Wait a second. Let's say
Brewmaster
that
Whiskers, I
one
see
more
you
time.
looking. Oh, okay, so on your character sheet on D&D Beyond, the
Yes.
actual character sheet, if you haven't gone to it, make sure you click that little piece of paper in from the editor part.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. There is a little box that says initiative. It's basically right in the middle, but it's near the very top of the sheet.
Oh, okay. So mine's +3.
Yep.
Okay.
Brewmaster Whiskers, yours is +3 as well. I see.
Yep. And then I just click it?
I wish that was the case.
Wouldn't that be so great?
You'll have to roll a die of some kind.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm actually gonna go.
A specific die, a D20.
I'm gonna grab my D20s. Can you, everyone, just give me 1 second?
Sure.
Oh wait. Oh, is it online? It is. It is.
Yeah,
on
we're
the,
live
it's
right
on the
now, and that's
computer.
absolutely fine. Yeah, that's maybe something we should have mentioned. You can also go to Google and ask it to roll a D20 for you.
I'm gonna do that. That way I don't have to move.
There's actually a whole dice roller that will pop up.
Yeah.
So let me just fire up this encounter, and I will get your initiatives.
5.
Kevin.
I rolled a 1 and a +3.
Oh, a 1 plus a 3. Okay, so that's 4. It's still low, but it's not bad. Astrid.
I'm at a 11.
11. Okay. I mean, it's just the booze, all the booze going away, but you could. I mean, it's fine. Brewmaster, what'd you get?
12.
No, it's still faster. That's including your bonus.
Oh, no. 15.
All right, that's more cat-like.
Yes, I'm so fast at dexterity. Thanks.
Vex, what did you get?
Rolled an 18.
Wow. Okay. That being free of your armor really means you hop to it. All right, Lady Briseis.
Oh, 5.
All right. Well, every
I
party
mean, I'm
has
just a
number.
patron. I'm just a patron.
Yeah, you're like, well, as long as they get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty invested.
Yeah. And then Fanny, what'd you get? Stefano.
I got 10.
That's including your +3 bonus?
Yes.
All right, well, I mean, the wagon isn't going that fast, I guess. I'll roll for the wagon. I know that seems weird, but it matters in this case. Okay. All right, so you're all standing outside. There's this it's just like a little dock that the wagon pulls up to. That's got a double door that leads into the kitchen so that you can unload the wagon. Usually it's filled with foodstuffs and that kind of stuff, but today it's 3 barrels of dwarven whiskey that's been brought in from the mountains. A lot of money has been invested in this. It's not expecting to last the night, but it's definitely needed unless you want to riot on your hands. And it's fairly quickly rolling down this long, basically like a half-mile stretch down to this cliff, a quarter mile. Miles are weird. I don't understand them very well. So I'm gonna say everything in the game is done in stupid imperial. So I'm gonna say a quarter mile because that feels more reasonable. And at the bottom of the hill, there is a stone wall that is the only barrier between the road and this, however many mile drop. Okay. It's not good.
Okay.
So if you don't stop it by then, it's gone. We're gonna go into initiative order just so everyone gets a chance, and that's that's based on your speed. So first up is Vex. Vex, what do you do?
So, can I get how far the wagon currently is? I know the track is essentially a quarter mile.
Yeah, I know, and again, I wish I hadn't said that at all.
It's okay.
It's about 90 feet.
Okay.
Away, and it's going to move something like 20 feet around.
Okay, because I would like to sprint at it, considering this wasn't the first time it's happened, according to our wonderful dwarf friend.
He has glasses that he refuses to wear. His license says he has to, and he refuses to wear them.
Yes. So I like to think this isn't terribly new, so I would like to run to see if I can get in front of the cart to try to use my strength and my weight to slow it down and catch it if I can.
Okay. So on your turn, you can take an action, and then you have an optional bonus action if you have an ability that does that, and then you've got a movement that you can take, and your movement speed is shown on your sheet. I believe for so you it'll be 30 feet.
Yes, so I will run toward the cart in preparation to. And stop it.
You can also use your action to dash, which allows you to move your full movement again if you like. So you can get 60 feet towards it, which closes the gap to 30 feet. Okay.
I think that'd be great.
All right. So off like a start, Vex dashes unladen by her armor. She blasts towards it. I imagine a frown on your face. Like this is just
kind of a scowl. Like really again.
At this point, Farnsworth has forgotten that it's happened and is just like leaning up against the wall, and he's got a pipe going. He's like, I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's just happens all the time. Vex is off like a start. Next up, Brewmaster Whiskers. What would you like to do?
Oh, I have a quick question because, I'm not crazy strong. I don't think I could stop it, but I know I'm good at convincing people of things. Can I get my patrons to help and be like, you guys want to get drunk tonight? Please come get this.
Absolutely.
Really? Great. How many people are there?
You can poke your head in and say, sorry, folks, the booze is in trouble, but if you could give us a hand.
I'm very charming. Be like, okay, so whatever I need to do for that, I'm gonna be like, everybody, do you love booze? And they'll be like, and I'll be like, Manhattans, old fashions. What about this is rye we're talking about? It's from the equivalent of Canada. I need your help to be drunk tonight, or else you have to do it sober. And then I feel like maybe they'll be really moved to action to come in, and they're gonna help.
I love this very much.
Thank you. That's what I want to do.
Maybe you were only half in, half out, and you ducked your head back in to the bar. And
he's in charge. He's in charge of the bar.
Oh yeah, he's doing a terrible job. He's just like, it's just a pretzel. I just want one pretzel. And he's trying to take the pretzel bowl away from somebody, and it spills all over the place. What do you yell? What do you yell specifically? Just what you said, basically.
Save the booze.
That's right. Okay, the booze is running away. Please save it. Okay. Please help. So what you're going to do for me is roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Can I just roll any 20 roll?
You roll a d20, and then you're going to add your persuasion bonus. So down the sort of left-hand side, there's a big list of skills. And you have the persuasion skill, and there's a little +5 beside it, you'll see.
Oh, what? Great! Yeah, I knew it.
And because this is a probably very easy sell, because as soon as you say the booze is about to be destroyed,
yeah,
I'll let you make this roll with advantage. So you actually get to roll 2 20s. and you pick the highest between the two.
Oh my god, I already did a 13.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I
roll
mean,
again
before
to
my
see-
bonus.
So yeah, roll again to see if you do higher than 13.
Wait, I think I just rolled 2 dice and I got an 11 and a 2, which is a 13. Should I have done them both at once?
They're 2 20s. They were 2 20s.
That's
that
the
you rolled?
orange one on Google, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then in that case, the 2 was your other choice, so it's a good thing you were rolling with advantage. So you got 13 plus 5.
Oh,
That's
wait, yeah, 18.
18 total. Yeah. So yeah, you whistle. If is that something a cat person can do? No.
I'm a talented cat.
It's not a person. A thing a Jordan person can do. Yeah, you whistle to get everyone's. Actually, you can hop up onto the stage and you just be like into the new mic and be like, "The booze is running away.
Oh,
You want to drink tonight? Help us
Yeah.
out." And half a dozen people, like they're standing before you even finish the word booze, and they're like, "Okay," and then they run out to the front. They run out to the front, hop onto horses. A bunch of them came here on horseback. Yeah, and they start getting the horses ready. So in the next round or so, they might come out and help.
Yeah.
Good
Thank you.
job, Whiskers.
I know
All right.
people's priorities.
Okay, so the wagon moves another. Did I say 20 feet? 20 feet.
Yes.
Right. So the wagon continues its downward motion and it's rumbling around. I'm gonna roll a die to see if anything falls out. Nothing falls out. Okay. Next up, it is Astrid.
All right. So I know this is more of an attack, but I'd like to use my my thorn whip to see if I can reach the kind of use it, Indiana Jones style. We're gonna try to hook it onto the back of the.
What is the range of thorn whip? That's the issue here.
Oh, that is a good question. Let me just double.
Because currently the wagon is 110 feet away from
110 feet. All right. I'm being told 30 feet.
Okay. I think if you're willing to use your movement to get there, I'll let you kind of extend the use of the spell a bit.
Okay.
Maybe you pull up a instead of a vine from your hand or something, you pull up a root nearby to try and wrap around like a wheel and slow it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Around a wheel, or if there's I don't know, like a railing on the back of the cart. I don't know what the cart looks like.
Yeah. There's also it's rolling backwards, so on the front there's the hookups for the goats, so you can maybe grab onto one of those as well. Those would probably be the most secure.
Are the goats still attached to the cart, or they are
No.
Okay.
He had unattached the goats, and they're just calmly eating off of a can of garbage.
I mean, part of me is tempted to ask the goats for their help, but goats are usually not very, persuaded easily. So,
they would probably say something like, "We're on break."
They'd complain to the goat union if we tried to get them to.
Yeah, you do have union. Everything's got a union.
All right, so I'm gonna use Thorn Whip, and I believe that's a D6 for that particular spell.
It's an attack roll, I believe.
An attack roll. Okay, so attack roll and then the D6.
Yeah, let me just pop up the screen here, and I can. So you'll see on your spell list, if you go to the spell tab on your sheet, it'll actually tell you the bonus and stuff right there. So it's a +5 to your attack roll.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, so let's see if you hit.
13.
Okay, this is a rickety old wood wagon, a little bit of metal reinforcement. So yeah, you see there's all these trees along the inside of the path on this hill, and all of you, as you watch, you see this root come up and wrap around one of the wheels, and though it's not really stopping it, it slows it down considerably. So we're going to cut its speed in half as you're kind of drag the. But all along the route, the road, the root is digging up dirt and dragging up a mess as it's just kind of getting stretched, pulled along to slow it down. So yeah, it's going to move only 10 feet around instead of 20 for now.
Okay, great. And am I being pulled by the cart? Kind of.
I was saying you summoned the route from elsewhere, but if you want to be surfing behind it, I'm not going to say no to that.
That's kind of what I was thinking. You know, like I'm digging my heels in, really trying to slow this thing down.
So you're 60 feet behind this thing, and you are you're Superman, not Spider-Man. Pardon me. Trying to stop the train, kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. D&D's the best. Okay, so. Next up is Silvano. Your concern is more with cooking materials, but drunk people eat more. It's just a fact. And so, what are you doing to try and help things out here?
So I first look at Kevin and I whack him with my spoon. I'm gonna whack him with my spoon.
Okay. Lots of inter-party politics already. That's very interesting.
You idiot!
Okay, throwing Kevin under the wagon. That's interesting.
This is your fault. This is not it. This is his fault. So obviously what we're going to do, I'm going to jump on top of a goat.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump on top of a goat. I'm going to attempt to ride the goat to save this entire situation.
Silvano, I appreciate that you use the word attempt, because that's really what we're looking for here is an attempt. So
that's what I would like to do. So let's just see what we can do about this.
That's the best mindset for T&D, is you can try anything you want. You can try anything you want. So what I'm going to require from you, Silvano, is a animal handling check. It's going to be at disadvantage because they're on their break.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're going to roll 2 20-sided dice, and you're going to choose the lower result.
Okay, so first one was a 5.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Second one was a 6.
All right. Not a huge swing. And your animal handling, as I see on your sheet, is a -1. So that brings that 5 down to a 4.
Yes.
So you just hop right onto the goat's back. This is not something that has happened before, I imagine.
No.
No? Okay, so this is the first time, right?
Absolutely.
The goat... the goat just simply, they don't even stop eating. They just kind of lower their back end a little bit, lift it back up, and just fling you off very succinctly. And you're going to take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as your butt hits the ground. So you can keep track of your hit points at the top right corner of your sheets. Just punch in whatever number of damage I've told you, and roll, and then hit damage, the damage button below, and it'll automatically subtract it.
Where does it? Sorry.
The goat did twerk, Kevin. It twerked real good. It twerked. Yeah.
I'm going to yell for Kevin. At the end, I'm going to yell for Kevin to come and help me get up off the ground. Kevin!
Yeah.
Kevin, damn it!
What?
Help me! No, I'm just gonna be screaming. And like, this is not my fault.
I would, but I rolled a 1.
Yep, this is exactly what it is. Okay.
Kevin is currently stunned. All right, Lady Briseis, did you follow the crowd out here?
Yeah, I did. I'm not very strong at all.
No.
I have lightning whip, but that not only is it not in range, but it would probably singe that wagon good and possibly hurt the alcohol. BMW already got the people out, which is also a skill of mine. So I'm going to ask my strong, noble boyfriend to jump on his horse and run down there and see if he can save from the barrels. Yeah.
Yeah, use the resources that are around, right?
Exactly.
So give me a persuasion roll to convince him. I mean, you know what? With advantage, he's goo-goo for you.
Okay. Well, so far I have 18 for this one with my +3.
He's eaten 9 quail eggs and had 3 Caesars, so he's just gonna do whatever.
So 18.
An 18? Yeah. He says,
he loves me.
My darling, my sweet, if this is what you wish, then this is what I will do.
This is what I wish. We shall get drunk and watch the show.
Where's my horse? Where's my horse?
You can grab my horse. It's okay. You can use my horse. He likes
I'm still concerned about where my horse is.
Oh.
But it's fine. It's fine.
Out front?
It's fine. Nah, yeah. Bertrand is, I'm sure, fine. And he stumbles out the front to
I
join
love
the rest of
you.
the horses. My dear, I love you like the moon loves the stars. I guess that's canon now for our other games.
This is a side of Briseis you never ever see.
That's right. So that is your turn, unless you want to, unless there's any kind of moving around or any other.
She can't do a whole lot right now, other than that. So
no problem. Okay, last but certainly not least is Kevin.
So, I mean, my instinct was to try and run after the cart using my long libs and acrobatic skills, but that wooden spoon speaks very loudly, so I'm gonna run to my boss's aid.
And just prop up Silvano. Okay.
Yeah, I'd just await further yelling instructions.
So I'll allow you to scoop up Silvano to his feet without a problem. If you'd like, you could still take an action if there's something that you would like to do.
Yeah, run after the cart.
Okay, you dust off Silvano and then start loping towards the whiskey cart. Perfect. So what's your movement? 30 feet, give or take.
Sorry.
Your movement is 30 feet, I think.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's just above, just kitty corner to where the initiative is on your sheet, just above 30 feet. Okay. Yeah. So you apologize needlessly maybe to Silvano, and then take off during it. Right. Now we're back at the top of the round, and on horseback, a bunch of drunk bar patrons are charging down the hill towards things. A goat, still eating, sticks out a leg and trips one of the horses. The horse is fine, but the guy falls off into the woods, and you just hear a slight goats and horses are enemies in my world, apparently. Right, so they're going to take a little bit of time to get there themselves, but we'll see how. So now, not too far behind the wagon, so just a little past where Astrid is being dragged, are a bunch of drunk patrons on horseback, including Lord Timon, who is the drunkest. He has a rapier out that he's waving around over his head, and which is really not the right vibe for what's happening right now. Okay, top of the round, we've got our Paladin Vex. You are a move and a dash away from getting either onto the wagon or whatever it is that you're planning to do. So you can get to the wagon if you use basically your whole turn. If you'd like to move and do something else, then you can get almost to the wagon. But...
we're gonna do the former, and we're just kind of straight try to get to the wagon.
Okay. So you, at a mad dash, you just outpace Astrid, who is, I imagine, Weekends at Bernie style surfing behind this thing.
I'm just like hey.
She's got like
imagining the Weekend at Bernie spin.
Yeah. Oh well, no, she's more Astrid's more in control than that. You've got like elven boots on that kind of just let you Legolas glide wherever the hell you want, because physics doesn't matter to elves. And so, Vex is just running past you full tilt, thunder and dragonborn steps, leaps as she is trying to get to the wagon, and you are just within grasping range of the wagon, Vex. So next turn, I know it's not super exciting. Next turn you'll be able to grab on. Let me just see if you've got any bonus actions that you might be able to use so that I can suggest. No, not currently. Okay. You know what? I'll let you try if you want to, because javelins have a bit of a reach. You could try and like jab something in to get a better grip right now if you'd like.
Sure. What do you want me to roll for that?
I think this is going to be a straight strength check, and if you have any bonus in athletics, you can roll that too. So it looks like your athletics doesn't have any proficiency, so it's just a +3.
All right. So then that is an 11.
Unfortunately, you grab one of the javelins off of your back, which you have with you always, and stab it in to try and dig in, and it just kind of like snaps off, and it's all you can do is just to keep pace behind the wagon. All right, Whiskers. You're leaning against the door to the bar, and you're like, I did good here today. As 6-7 drunk patrons fly by on horseback. One of them flying off their horse, and the horse has like the one that's fallen off has shaken himself off, and he's turned back around and is sort of creeping up on one of the goats. There's a side story there, obviously. What would you like to do next?
Well, I was gonna ask Vex. I was hoping that Vex would get the javelin in, because I don't know what our plans are. Is it possible to stop the wagon once like someone's in it?
You know what? I will let you do a perception check to kind of get a view of what's on the wagon from where you are.
Okay.
So take a look at your skill sheet, roll your d20, and add whatever perception bump.
Okay, let me look at where perception is.
Should be in the middle. There's like a row that starts with acrobatics and ends with survival.
Okay, yeah. Oh, +3. You'd think I would have found it then. I'm sorry that I had to ask.
Your character can have better perception skills than you do. That's the case. That's the case in most cases. So give me a d20 roll and add that 3 to it.
Oh, 13. 16.
Very nice. You are like you think the job is done with these horsebound folk coming out, but then you squint and there's like a Guy Ritchie style smash cut zoom in on a brake handle on the side.
Okay, so now I know that that's how we can stop it.
And would you like to like yell that?
Yeah, to Vex. Wait, Vex, are you part Elvish?
No, I'm straight Dragonborn.
Dragonborn, yeah.
Okay. I know I speak Elvish, and I just really want to bring that up for no reason. Okay.
No, I didn't. I speak Dwarvish.
She speaks Dwarvish, yeah, so she can talk, she can talk to Farnsworth.
But so can I like yell to everybody on horseback? And
talking on your turn is a free action within reason.
Oh, great. Hey, everybody, there's a thing. Look at it outside. It's the brake handle. Get it. Pull it and we win. The booze will be saved. It's like a video game. That's the weakness.
Well done. Everyone knows. Okay, the wagon moves another 10 feet. Slowed by half movement by Astrid's dragging, and though you were kind of skimming above the dirt road, the dirt path, now you're kind of like a couple inches deep into it because there's a groove being worn by you being dragged, which brings us to Astrid.
All right.
You know what? I think I'll get you to make a quick. Just straight dexterity roll.
Okay.
Just to see how well you're handling. Unless you happen to have vehicle handling skills, which you don't.
I do not see that under my skill tree.
No, you have a herbalism kit, but that's not super handy right now. Yeah, so a dex roll, please.
That is a 12.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna. You can see the sturdy thorn bramble that you're using to hang on to this. You can see it's starting to like threads of it are like pulling off. It's like starting to get a little weathered. Okay. But you managed to hold on and dig in. Is there anything else? Anything you'd like to do with your turn? Uh-oh. Did we
how close am I right now?
You are 60 feet behind it.
I'm here.
Yeah, you kind of froze up on us, but we can still hear you, so no worries. It'll probably get caught up with us soon. There it is.
There it is.
Okay. Thanks, Internet. Okay, so I'm about 60 feet, still being dragged behind, but the thorn whip is seeming like...
And looking awesome, by the way. I have to say, you probably look like the coolest person. And I'm not being sarcastic.
Ooh. Thank you.
Sorry, second coolest person, Sylvana. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Right. I just happen... I mean, is it reasonable that I would have had my crossbow on my hip this entire time?
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
You got your equipment on you.
So I would like to use the crossbow to try to see if I can hit the...
The break?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, that's a called shot, so I'm going to have you roll that attack at disadvantage. But yeah, give it a try.
All right.
One-handed, you kind of like wrap the vine around one arm so that's a little stronger, and you pull out this hand crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Again, second most badass person here. I feel like I'm under the spoon as well.
All right. Well, that was not a terribly good roll. So that was a 6. So I'm gonna say that was probably a fail.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get Vex. Vex, if you could roll a dexterity saving throw for me. So in the top left part of your sheet, you'll see your saving throw box.
Sounds good.
Because there's a crossbow bolt kept firing over your shoulder.
I got a straight 13.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you feel it. It almost chips it just chips a scale as it goes by, and then it hits it. It kind of rattles around in one of the wheels and gets shattered to pieces. And you look over your shoulder, and I imagine Astrid is like just one hand. Because of one hand.
It's a very,
Okay.
very, what's his face? From that, oh God, did I do that? What's the name of that character?
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about Steve Urkel.
Yes.
Which, I mean, I don't know what the constitution of what our audience is made up of, but maybe half of them got that, so that's good. So next up is Silvano. You have been rebuked by a goat.
So I firstly want to do like a stealth check. I want to do a stealth check to see if anyone saw it. I want to see if anyone saw this and saw my embarrassing moment.
You know what? I'm gonna make, if you don't mind, Silvano, roll a sleight of hand check to see how
I dealt with that.
Yeah.
Let's see what I rolled.
It's a +3 according to your sheet.
Oh my god, I got a 7.
Okay.
Okay.
You did scream for Kevin
I
as
did.
soon as it happened.
Listen, we don't need to talk about my innate reaction. My
If it was a better roll, you could have convinced everyone that somehow it was me who fell off the goat, but you didn't.
So the brewmaster definitely is like watching you, and maybe has got a little cat giggle going on. And Farnsworth, he has rolled back into the hay and is just like, that's the funniest thing I've seen in the longest time. The goat kicked you. It kicked you real good. He's just having a great day. He has completely forgotten about his horrible mistake. So Silvano, you do have the rest of your turn to.
So I'm then going to. I'm currently picked up in the gallant arms of my trusty friend Kevin.
Did Kevin pick you up? I didn't realize that. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Kevin has picked me up. Kevin, are you still picking
him.
me up? Are you still?
Then Farnsworth
No, I
would
set
say,
you down to run after the wagon
Oh yes. Okay. Yes. That's right. Okay. So
and to get away from the spoon.
Okay. So that's exactly right. Okay. I couldn't remember, and I was like, I want to go and play it tough and have you like hold me back from the goats. I was like, I'm gonna have you hold me back. So I'm gonna cuss out the goats.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like,
there's a horse near one of them, so just so you know, you could maybe get that horse to kick it or something.
I'm gonna just go in this thing, and I
would like to draw attention to some of the spells you have, because I helped you out a little bit with some spells, and the classic bard spell is one called Vicious Mockery, which is literally you say something mean to someone, and then they get hurt.
It's called high school.
And you can use it as much as you want.
I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do the Vicious Mockery.
You're going to say it to a goat?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm absolutely going to say it to the goat. I'm going to say,
that isn't going to happen, goat.
Smelly goat, you.
Wow.
You vicious, smelly goat.
Okay. So the goat has to make a wisdom saving throw. They're very wise goats. At least by human standards, they're on par. So I'm gonna roll with advantage because they're also stubborn as fuck. And I unbelievably have rolled 2 1s. So the goat, so I don't even, you're gonna roll 1d4 for me, 1 4-sided die, which I think Google can handle for you.
Yep, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure I have it.
No problem.
So 1 4-sided die?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 4-sided die.
They don't have a ton of hit points, so I'm very curious as to what's going to happen.
Oh, I got a 1.
Oh, 1? Okay.
Yeah.
The goat like lifts their head up from the food they're eating, and at the sound of this, and then goes like does the little hop, so it turns around, and then just gets down into battle mode.
Oh no!
And unfortunately, I have to add the goats into the initiative order. It'll just be a moment.
I want to make sure that I have my spoon. So this is the thing. I have my spoon.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, you've got everything that's on your sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now the goats got a turn. One of them anyway. You turn. This is the goats look angry all the time already. This one looks doubly so. Would you like to move?
I am going to stand back like this, and I'm going to put myself in ready position, and I'm gonna go like.
Okay.
Okay. To the goat.
Goat battle.
And I'm gonna just have that moment.
It is a chef's kiss moment.
Yes. Like.
Lady Briseis, you're up. You're muted there, Scarlett.
Sorry. Okay. So, Timon has gone down, riding his horse down to the whiskey barrel.
Yeah, he's waving a rapier. That's right, over his head, and he's saying, "For Lady Fourflame."
Oh, he's drunk.
Yeah, incredibly.
This was
drunk.
a bad idea. Okay. He's gonna try and get the booze with his sword. Don't use your sword, darling.
Is there any actions you'd like to take?
Well, I'm thinking about it.
Sure.
You could help me with the goats if you want to help me with the goats.
If I help you with the goats, we'll be having them for dinner because all I'm going to do is firebolt them. So
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Might be a little feisty for
would
you
you
later.
like me to throw a firebolt at a goat?
What will it hit? Is there a chance it might hit all the alcohol?
Yes.
Well, no, the
If I
alcohol is
roll-
120 feet away from you.
No, but there's a chance it could miss. It's not. If only there was a ball of fire, I could make it with my hands. If only there was some way to do that. But
I
there's
will
not.
say, Lady Briseis, that you could try and aim. You could try and aim for a wagon wheel or something if you would like to.
I wouldn't
up
light the
aggression.
entire wagon on fire, though.
No, I'm not going to do that to you guys. I want you to have booze for tonight. But it could miss, or it could, cause some smaller complications if it doesn't go right. But
Please don't hit me.
Well, I don't want to hit my lover either.
well, you can attack. You can attack this goat if you like.
But I think that would just be for fun, though.
Oh, this is all for fun.
All right, I'm gonna lightning whip the goat and save Silvano. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this poor goat. He's on break.
Goat,
Silvano's he's a good chef. I don't want him to be hurt, so he can't
All right.
cook anymore.
How
so.
does lightning work? Is that an attack?
It's just an attack, and it's I don't think I have to roll to hit. It does damage, but I can also just pull the goat towards me.
Is it a saving throw or an attack roll?
It
Do I have a
is
bonus?
a. Sorry, it's just a cantrip, and it is a hit +5.
Okay, so it is an attack. You'll have to roll a d20 and add 5.
All right. That's a 16.
A 16? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lightning whip hits the goat.
All right, it's gonna do some 1d8 damage.
Oh my
But I
lord.
also just want to pull the goat towards. We can just eat it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. 5.
You know what? I'm gonna suggest that these are property of the tavern, or employees, I should say, of the tavern. Just like you. So I'm gonna let you. Let's say that you are pulling it away, but you're maybe not going to injure it.
I don't want to injure it. I just want
Yeah.
to save Silvano.
Okay. Yeah. So because I think these goats are the stars of the show now, so I need to keep them around for legal reasons, I guess. And so the lightning whip goes out. It wraps around the leg of the goat that's about to leap at Silvano, and you just kind of drag them back towards where they are.
Bad goat. No.
It says, "I was on my break."
We don't hurt people.
Maybe you don't.
Well, that's neither here nor there.
People don't hurt people. Goats hurt people.
Well, I will not hurt you if you stop hurting Silvano. Deal?
Probably blows a raspberry at you, and then maybe goes back to eating its straw.
Fine.
Can I do this? Can I do
All
this
right.
to my lady? Can I go?
Of course.
Thank
Kisses
you,
are free.
Silvano. I'll just catch it.
Yeah. So the last but not least is Kevin.
Yeah, so while I went sprinting after the wagon, I think my goal is to, because I don't think I can stop the wagon, but maybe I can try and grab at least one of the barrels off of it, so save at least one of them.
Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna mad dash towards it.
Yeah. So what kind of roll should I be
well,
making?
moving, and you're gonna try and grab one of the barrels off the side.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a straight. That's gonna be a feat of strength. An athletics check for me, please.
Okay. That's a D20?
D20, yes. Yeah, pretty much you're always gonna roll a D20 unless you're doing damage, and then I will.
I got a nat 20.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Right.
Your supernaturally long bugbear arms, which you're kind of like gorilla loping with at a certain point, to drag yourself closer. You're a fan of this whiskey. You were really excited about it coming in. And so you just wrap them around one of the barrels and then skid to a stop. You're now grasping a huge barrel of whiskey around the middle. And you can just start walking back up the hill. Your job's done. Yeah. Perfect. The top of the round, another couple of horsemen have fallen. Horse riders have fallen off of their horses, and so only two of them managed to get to either side. One is Lord Timon, who is waving his rapier around, and the other one is a red-haired human woman who seems like razor focused on saving this whiskey. She is not drunk. But she was planning to be later today. And she looks over to Astrid and Vex and says, "What can I do to help?"
Get the lever. Is it on her side?
It's on the other side, unfortunately.
Yeah. Shit. Is she carrying anything?
She's just on horseback. Yep. She's in kind of like a green dress, and a little bit of Anna Green Gables grown up kind of feel to her. Freckles and red hair, and a fondness for whiskey.
I'm gonna go like this.
And braids.
No.
Yep.
Another one. Okay. Well, you can think about it when you and you can tell her some stuff, basically whenever you like, and on the next turn she'll do it if you haven't already saved it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, Vex, it's your turn to actually act. Oh, Timon is screaming Lady Briseis' name, and he's forgotten about halfway there. He's forgotten why he's doing this, so he's just trying to look as heroic as he can, which is he's about at 10%. Cool, which is not cool. Vex.
All right. Am I on the side of the lever?
Yeah, you're right. I imagine you're right between, so you can reach out and you could probably reach out and grab that brake.
Okay.
You will be at advantage unless you can find your way into the wagon, which is just a bit of a risky proposition. But if you can get into the wagon, it'll be a lot easier. If you can imagine sitting at the front of the wagon, the thing's got to be pulled back, and you're in front of it, so you're kind of having to push it up, which isn't the super easiest thing to do. So it's up to you. You can try and do an athletics.
Is it possible to like hook my arm onto like the side of the wagon and turn and try to pull it? Does that make sense? If I'm like holding onto the wagon? Am I in reach to do that?
Are you sort of being dragged a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm like trying to dig it in, and like originally I was gonna try to get in front of it to stop it anyway, so now I'm just trying to pull it back and get the brake going.
Yeah, give me it's still a pretty fancy maneuver, but
we're just surfing together.
Yeah, give me a strength roll, and we'll see if you can do it.
Ugh, no. 8.
Was that with your bonus? Your +3?
Yeah, I rolled a 5.
All right. Yeah, you're gonna take 1 point of piercing damage as you're kind of dragging your arm along the wood of the wagon, and it gives you like splinters, and it's kind of just not a great position. If you want, you can try and use your movement to get into the wagon, and I'll allow that, but it'll be an acrobatics check an acrobatics check to try. So that's just a straight D20 roll for you if you want to try it out.
Sure, let's try it. Okay, well that is an 18.
All right. You dig in your heels and push yourself back up into the wagon seat, and now you're going down the hill it's still at half speed, but still very fast. And but you're sitting in the wagon seat. So next turn you'll be able to pull that lever.
Sweet.
Yeah. You better get a medal from somebody after this. Brewmaster Whiskers, you're up next. The goat has been chastised.
Great.
Yep.
So I want to, I feel like everyone's got it under control. I really feel good about Dex being there. We've got the brave Anna Green Gables, if she were in Brave also. She seems like she's got it.
Yeah, she's Anna Green Brave.
Yep, exactly. And so she's got that, and I feel like we've also got Astrid. Anyway, but I'm concerned that I left a bunch of patrons and wellies in charge. So I think maybe is there a chance if I don't go check on the bar, we're gonna come in there with all the other booze is gone and the chandelier?
Okay. All right.
Is that something that's useful? Should I go back in? Is there a chance a revolt's happened and I don't know,
honestly,
what's the vibe?
Keeping an eye on things while the entire staff is chasing the booze down sounds like a really responsible thing to do. So yeah, you can just go back in and check in on what's going on. As you go in, you see a probably fairly common sight. Welly is been picked up and by a fairly burly half-orc woman, and just is being squeezed. And she's like, "You spilt my drink." And he's just like, "I just want a little taste of it. Put me down, you brute. Put me down."
Can I jump in?
Yeah, sure. If you got a ranged attack or something to something you can do.
No, I'm gonna talk my way out of it, everything.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hello. I am so sorry. He was supposed to go on his break. This is my fault. Oh my God, no. You know what? Let's get you another drink.
He'll break, all right.
How many people are you with? Please. I got even better ale than this. If you want to try it, local things that no one's tried.
There's 3 empty seats on either side of her. Everyone has moved all the way down the bar.
You know what? Why don't
you're alone?
Why don't we have a drink together?
Make a persuasion roll.
Ooh, saucy.
Sounds like you're trying to seduce this half-orc woman.
I need to calm this down. I don't want her saying bad things. I need to do whatever I can, and whatever I can.
You need to throw your cat at him. No, I'm sorry. That was just...
You know what it is? I'll take a screenshot of this. I feel like it's really good. It's at 19 plus what? Persuasion? What's my persuasion?
Plus 5.
So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong sheet. It's
okay.
Plus 5. I was right, yeah.
24.
Her face softens as much as a half-orc's face can, and she puts down Welly and kind of does a little dust on the shoulders and kind of just pokes him Pillsbury Doughboy style to kind of move along the bar and
Thank
says,
you so much. You're such a kind, thoughtful person, so rational.
Vodka shots.
Absolutely. And then I pour her a vodka shot and myself one of water, but she doesn't know because I'm very sleight of hand.
The most responsible D&D character. Perfect. Whiskers, her name is Grinda, by the way.
Grinda, diffuse the situation, Grinda. Thank you.
Yeah.
She might be helpful later.
I think Grinda might have a bit of a crush on you now, BMW.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
More tips. More
tips for me. It's my literal job.
Shot.
The wagon continues rumbling along. The 2 barrels that are in it, taking one out has kind of loosened the grip, and so they're kind of rattling around a little more in it. But everything seems secure. Astrid. So if there's something you can think of to help improve Vex's situation, so that when she finally pulls that lever.
Right. So Vex is actually in the wagon.
He's in the wagon seat. Yeah.
In the wagon seat. It's still barreling along though at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm still being. Okay.
It's all looking still very cool.
Okay, awesome. I'm just like loving this right now and how cool I look. I would like to try to jump into the wagon to be next to Vex.
Okay, so you pull yourself along and jump in. Give me an acrobatics roll, please.
All right. Nat 20, baby.
Oh, yeah. So you just start, you're not super strong, but you start pulling yourself along the vine, and then just with one yank, you just drift like a leaf and land right in the seat beside Vex. I presume a high five is exchanged. All right, so next up is Silvano.
So, I have won the battle against the goat.
Did you really though?
I did though. I did. Was it did the goat? He was scared.
The goat has stood down.
He stood down because he didn't want to mess with me. That's what happened. Okay. So that's what I recall. I don't know what anyone else saw. I'm gonna do a stealth check to make sure that everyone saw the same thing.
Okay.
I want to make sure everyone saw that.
Yep, sounds good.
Saw that I defeated the goat because they were afraid of my awesome power.
That's a D20.
D20?
You know what? I think this is more of a deception roll, which you're actually better at. So roll a D20 and add +5.
I got a 3. What is happening? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got an 8 in total.
An 8?
Yeah.
with the +5.
Yep. With the +5. The +5, I got an 8.
The goat, who's back to chewing, says, "You're not fooling anyone, short stack."
I'm gonna go. I am now going to rush Kevin. Kevin is still. You're holding all the booze still, right? Yeah. You're holding all the booze.
Can't see in front of themselves because the barrel is just so big.
Absolutely. So I am going to rush towards Kevin. I'm going to walk in front of him. And I'm going to say, I've saved it. I've saved the liquor. I've saved all of the booze. You're welcome. Thank you, everybody. I have done my job.
Perfect.
Should we roll to see whether I trip over Silvano and smash the booze keg?
I wasn't going to ask for that. And I would certainly not.
Kevin does have pretty good dexterity.
I would certainly not put the booze in danger because booze. But
thank you.
I'm thinking I'm gonna give Silvano this chance to
make
it's
sure
not really
that
saving face. Everyone knows
great.
that Silvano did not do this, but
I don't know about that, but we can agree to disagree.
I think he needs this. I think
I do need this.
Okay, so that was Silvano's excellent turn, and
oh
Kevin,
wait, one more thing. I want to just wink at my lady again, and I want to go as I walk by very seductively, and like I want to do a slight wiggle, just like a slight one, not like I'm not.
A big wiggle would take your full action.
Exactly. I just want a slight one, just the slight tinge. Yeah, so there's like, you know. Mm-hmm. So I've saved the day, everyone. I just wanted everyone to know.
Yeah, with a slight wiggle. Okay, well, Lady Briseis, it's your turn now, so you can react to the slight wiggle.
Simon, you can come back. Come back now. Simon, where are you?
Yeah, so Timon has circled around, and he's like, my darling, I've done it.
Okay, come back, come back.
I did it, I've done it.
I just need you for a second.
I need you like the shore needs the waves.
Okay, well, we're gonna get a room later, but just for a second, just come back here.
Oh. Yeah, no, he comes back. Maybe he pulls you up onto the horse, which is like a terrifying prospect. And then you kind of go around to the back.
All right.
To the front of the place. And then Kevin, last but not least. You could probably just
so
step right over Silvano if you wanted, but
yeah, that probably makes. I mean, I can't see Silvano.
No.
Like I've got this giant keg in front of me, but yeah. my rogue skills, tell me there's a thing I need to step over.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
booze is safe.
And
So-
the lady at the bar you might want to
where it
meet.
needs to go.
So yeah, Silvano's parade is kind of interrupted by Kevin just climbing over. And with that, I'm gonna say, with a high five, Vex, you grab onto the brake of the wagon, and it comes to a screeching halt. The barrels slide to the back with a thud, but they're safe. And I think this is a good time, as Bosco gets the barrels back into the building. We'll take a little break, a little bathroom break, a bio break. Thank you, everybody who's been watching so far. I hope all of you have been having fun. All my players have been having fun.
Yes.
Yeah. This is an opportunity for all of you to maybe help out some performers who don't get to do regular shows right now. So if someone can put in the chat those the ways that you can maybe give us a little tip. Obviously, enjoying yourself is what we're aiming for the most, but the tips are going to go to our amazing performers and players today. So please help them out, and follow them on all their socials. Enjoy all of the content that they're making despite the chaos outside. So yeah, and we'll be back in like 10 minutes. All right.
Good.
See you soon.
See ya.
See ya in a
Bye.
second.
Bye. Welcome back. We're back to playing D&D with Girl Burlesque and friends. Our first act was extremely eventful as the whiskey wagon almost crashed off of a cliff. But through clever application of everyone's skills and squaring off with a goat, we managed to rescue all the whiskey. And as we speak, Bosco, the hobgoblin, is, though he is a lean-looking gentleman, is very capably hoisting the two barrels off and tossing them into the kitchen. Yeah, hobgoblins, very red fur, blue nose, very handsome. We're gonna dive right back into it. The day goes on fairly normally. Brunch rush turns to lunch rush, and over the next few hours, the kegs, the big whiskey barrels, are hooked up, basically so that you can just pour whiskey right out of them. They've got a tap in them, and everything's going fine except that Whiskers, you notice that Bonnie, the ogre, your ogre stage manager, basically, hasn't been around. Bosco is like rearranging stuff on the stage, but you realize you haven't seen Bonnie in like half an hour, and I mean she's the size of a barn, so it's difficult to miss. And then you hear her, and she says, "Now we don't want your kind here. You get out of here. Don't throw rocks at me." And it's coming from out front. And then you hear this low, squeaky kind of voice saying, "Listen, lady, you got non-union folks in there. I need my people working that stage."
Okay.
Astrid, your pointy ears perk up, and you hear this as well. Now, believe it or not, I had union trouble built into this story already. So they weren't goats, but yeah, Bonnie pokes her head in, which is basically all that can fit through the front door, and says, we got the local union here. It looks like they've got some issues."
Thank you so much, Bonnie.
This isn't really my expertise.
I would like to go to the front door and see what the commotion is.
So outside there are How many? How many are there? There's 7 goblins outside. And they're all wearing various all black outfits, like that someone would be wearing if they were working backstage somewhere. They're all in like turtlenecks and just like long sleeve sweaters and things, so that they and
Stage
these
crew?
Yeah, stage crew kind of gear.
Some of them have like duct tape attached to their belts, and
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One of them has a headset that looks like it's been carved out of soap or something. It's obviously not functional, but yeah. And then in front is a slightly burlier looking goblin that has a chain, and he's just kind of like smacking the chain into his hand, and he's like, so who does the hiring around here?
well,
Is it you, Elfie?
Well, my name is Astrid, but that would be actually our proprietress. I believe she's inside, but is there something perhaps I could help you with?
Well, I was creeping around, legally creeping around last night, and I noticed that you got a couple of non-union workers working that stage.
I'm quite sure
You got that ogre biggin, and then you're working with that hob, and they ain't on my roster. And he actually reaches into a backpack he's got, and pulls out this like note, this raggedy looking paper holding thing. The word has escaped my brain.
Folder? Parchment?
Clipboard, that's the word. Thank you.
Thank you, voice of God.
Yeah, spooky voice. And he's like, yeah, I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing goblins all the way down. No hobs, no ogres. The Union of Roadies and Toadies, they're the first people you got to come to if you're going to be putting on any kind of show. So, we got issues.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry to hear that. I mean, we're relatively new to this whole entertainment thing. We're just trying to put on the best show we can.
Well, when you hire non-union workers to do your stage stuff, then you're putting your show at risk. I train these guys day and night to make sure that they lift things up and move it around, and they meet their marks, and they don't. These goblins don't bite your stuff. They don't try and eat your belongings. I got it all worked out. I can't say the same for the biggin and the furball back there. You don't know. You don't know.
Well, do you think that perhaps we could work something out? I mean, we have this big show that's about to go down in a few hours, and, I'm having my official belly dance debut in front of an audience. It would be a really huge inconvenience to shut things down now.
Hey, we can work any kind of show. You can have bellies dancing, you can have lips dancing, someone can be wiggling their ears. We don't care what they're doing up there. But if you don't get rid of the hob and the ogre, then we got issues.
I would like to roll for persuasion that I'm going to tell them that that's really not necessary in this establishment because, we're not really a theater. We're just a humble tavern.
Okay, give it a persuasion roll.
Nope. It helps when the dice stays on your desk.
That means a reroll, though.
18.
Well, I want to come in and take a look around. Maybe we can arrange something, but me and my crew got to take a look to see. I only really got to look through the window, and really only the lower half because I'm 3.5 feet tall. So I'd like to get a good look around the whole place.
Well, let me just check in with
right now, if it's possible. And he's starts walking forward. He's dragging the chain beside him.
All right.
As he gets closer, you can see that the black outfits are like patchy, and there's rips and holes in all of them. And one of them's like the sleeves are so long they belong to like someone like a full like human-sized person, and the sleeves are like dragging behind them. One of them like wipes snot away, and this like goober of snot just stretches and this is like the grossest gang of roadies you've ever seen. but
Where-
the big
where
one
is-
is starting to push his way through.
Where is Vex at this
Yeah, I
point?
was gonna say, can I either be like
Sure.
on my way back to the door or overhearing?
Yeah, we can
this?
say you can overhear
Wow.
that. Any of you that have an idea and want to step in here, please go ahead. So yeah, Vex.
And this was hours later, so I'm just trying to figure out if I'd be in my.
Sure,
chainmail.
you would definitely be at your post. Oh, and you can be in your chainmail. That's absolutely fine. It's
Okay.
getting later in the day.
Then I would like to come around from the back because I would like to just walk around and do a what do you call it when you're
Perimeter
checking.
kind of thing. Yeah, perimeter
Yes,
check.
yes. And as I come up to the door, I'd like to clear my throat, stand tall, and have my hands on my hips, glowering down at these goblins. Do we have a problem?
The head goblin puts his hands up. He brings the chain around. He swings the chain around and holds his hand up, and it bonks the goblin over the head that's behind him, who kind of does like the teetering around type thing.
Well, looks like
Listen.
you don't know how to handle that.
Listen, you
I
don't
want
need to
the
bring a heavy into the equation here. My crew is professional. We just want to take a look around.
Can I make a suggestion?
Mhm.
I would like to come out and realistically, there's 7 goblins, right?
Mhm.
And not all of us can fight all these goblins, and I feel like a fight right before the show is not going to help. So what I think is that if I can talk to Miss Foghorn Leghorn in the drag,
Lady Featherbottom. Yeah.
Lady Featherbottom, and say, hey, well, let's say of course you can come in, but you can't come in right now. Look, we're going to give you all free tickets and free drinks. Look, I'm the barkeep. I will personally keep you satisfied all night. Of course, I'll water down their beer. I don't want to, but we have to buy ourselves time so that they go away. So can we roll for that?
So you kind of poke your head in beside one side of Vex to kind of offer all of those things. Yeah. Sure. You can give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, just go away. You can come back later, and we can always just get rid of them later. But okay, I'm rolling.
In the midst of this happening,
Mhm.
I want to come in with my spatula, and I want to go in front of Astrid and go real close, and also the brewmaster, and also Vex. And I want to puff myself out, and I want to go, listen, my beautiful, wonderful people, there is no need for there to be any kind of an argument. Slavano is here.
Problem solved.
I did think we had this covered, but obviously things are. All right.
So, Brewmaster, what was your roll on your?
4, and then I have +5 persuasion, but that's still 9.
Yeah. Okay.
Roll.
Can I help with that as a intimidating force to?
Yeah, you know
Can
what?
they
I'll
do
let
that?
you roll again. Roll again and see if it's higher than the
Okay.
5. Yeah, there's enough people backing you up that there's some help happening here.
I'll
It's
roll
20.
too.
A 20.
Yes, and then I have 5. Oh my god.
But it was
Sorry.
also a nat 20, which is the best.
Nat 20 is I know how to play the game. Just nailed it.
The leader, the union leader, presumably the union leader, says, no one has ever said Lenny the Tooth ain't a reasonable goblin. And he smiles, and
No
he has
one does.
he has one tooth. It's really
Is it gold?
Yeah, it's a gold tooth. Yeah, yeah, it's a single gold tooth. And he has this lopsided grin. A bunch of beers, negotiations later. That sounds really like a good time. Vex, you are kind of surveying the whole situation as you
I'm
would,
with you guys.
and you realize that there's now only 4 goblins here.
Mhm.
3 have disappeared.
Can I do a perception check to see if they are still around, or would that have been the perception?
Yeah, it was kind of against your passive
Oh,
perception.
passive. Mhm.
But it isn't long before you turn around and take a look, and see that in amongst the tavern patrons, there is 3 of them. These goblins skulking around. They're looking under tablecloths, and they're heading up towards the stage. A couple of windows are open that weren't open before, and someone is yelling at a waiter about a goblin stepping in his smoked meat sandwich.
They don't get the free
Okay.
booze later.
I look down to Lenny the Tooth, and basically, you have 3 seconds to get those 3 out of there without repercussion right now.
Oh, did Huis, Lewis, and Dewis sneak past you? Oh, they're so sneaky, those 3. They just want to get a look.
I don't care. Call them out.
He
And-
like makes a show of cupping his hands, and he's like, Huis, Lewis, Dewis, come back. They can't hear me.
I pick him up.
Okay.
And I walk in. And can I like basically take up the doorway to make sure that no one else sneaks in?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, goblins, come here, holding up their dude, their
Right.
Lenny.
Everyone, roll initiative.
Ah.
We could do a food fight.
Woohoo!
15.
Sorry, 1 second. Gotta reload my encounter here.
We have to add on our own plus initiatives.
Yes, please do.
Got a 13 plus 3, so 16.
Okay, a 16 for Kevin. And sorry, Brewmaster, what you get?
19.
Hot dog.
It was 16 plus 3 because
Perfect.
of my thing.
Astrid.
6.
Well, consistency at least. And Silvano, what you get?
6.
Doesn't matter.
Thank you, Jordan.
one more 6, and we've got a devil's initiative. And Lady Briseis.
15.
15. Okay. And Kevin, I got Vex.
13.
Okay. All right. Fast like a kitty, Brewmaster Whiskers is up first. So, I'm gonna allow all of you to move past Vex in and out of the place because you're on the same team. The goblins for now can't get in the doorway, but it's obvious they don't really care what direction they get in. Yeah, Vex. Brewmaster, you're
Are we
standing there.
fighting right now?
So I will allow. So
Conflict.
you can do non-lethal damage. So that you're not ripping goblins to shreds in the place.
Yeah. Okay.
So it means they get knocked unconscious, and then you could just toss them all out. This is a
Okay.
cartoony D&D universe.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Because I know that I have a thing where I can go really fast and I can climb on stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, you have a lot of cool things that you can do.
Hmm.
And I will help you as best as I can to access all of them. So basically, you can make an attack, and then you can use. If you make an attack, you can make a bonus action to just do a second attack with your unarmed strikes.
Can I just like attack them? Like be like, hey jerks, why didn't you listen?
Yeah, of course. Firm
And just like, and I just like make them feel really bad, and I'll be like, just get out. And they're like, are you mad? And I'll be like, disappointed.
There are 3 still outside, and then there are the 3 that are like wandering around inside.
Okay, the ones inside, the ones outside sort of listened.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so can I like jump out in front of them and be like,
yeah, well,
so what do I roll for?
they've spread out in all different directions, so you just can head over to the nearest one.
The nearest one. Okay,
Yeah.
Can I use one turn
As
to
you
be
get
like,
close to
hey
like,
jerks?
so how's the food here? Then he's like, he's standing on a table in front of people. He's like, how's the food here? If we're gonna be working here, we need to make sure our break lunches are. Oh no, cat lady.
No. Okay. No. Hey, excuse me. Don't presume my pronouns. Thank you, though. I
Sorry.
am feeling pretty today. But
That was rude, even for a goblin. I apologize.
You're on a table. You should know that that's rude then. But listen. I need you. If you really want to work here, you can't be like standing on tables and like yelling at guests. That's why we hired not you, because no
He
one will
says-
come back.
That's not what the union rules say.
They say that we should just hire terrible like.
Lenny says that
Offend
we can go
customers.
anywhere we need to get the job done.
No, this is why people don't like unions. I'm pro-union, but you're the
And-
reason right now.
He steps into someone's mashed potatoes and just kicks the plate off of the table. I had to do it to do my job.
All right, should I just grab this guy's ear and be like, let's go. Let's
All
go,
right.
Goblin. They have long ears.
Give me I guess you want to grapple him? You want to try and grab onto him and chuck him out, or are you going to slash at him?
Oh, should I just? But I feel like that's so mean.
You can do a grapple.
Then
so
I'm
don't-
on the table. I go to. Okay, no, taking him off the table. I'm gonna
Okay.
just maybe a jump on him off the table.
So, from you, I will need an athletics roll.
Oh, okay, good.
And it's going to be against his acrobatics roll to see how good he is at weaseling out from the ground.
I know I'm good at acrobat. Okay, let's see. Oh, I got a 5.
He got
and
a
then
nat.
plus.
He got a nat 20.
Oh.
So the goblin, you reach out to grab onto the black turtleneck he's wearing, and he just kind of he slides back on the mashed potatoes that are on his feet like he's skating, and then
He's Drake.
he just goes
Slide, I get it.
and then jumps. He just like is heading towards the edge of the table. You missed him. So sorry, Brewmaster. That's your turn.
I'll be sitting here licking my wounds.
Yeah, perfect. All right, Kevin. Presumably you have been moving in. You haven't gone outside or anything, so you're out on the floor right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you like to do?
So I would like to use my long arms and my experience at grabbing assorted sundries off tables to just try and grab whatever of these table goblins that I can.
Table goblins.
Yeah.
It's exactly the stat block's name. Yeah, that will be another grapple check as well. So that's an athletics check versus their athletics.
I got a 19.
All right, they got a 13. So this one is like doing a soft shoe number on one of the tables, and one of the people is kind of like clapping, but because they feel like they should. But the other two are just like, they almost are signaling you down, Kevin. So with one arm, you just wrap it around this goblin and like hook them off the table, like the hook on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you kind of got one in your hands. They're like, hey, one of them was clapping.
I'd be like, don't you fuck with my tips, kid.
Oh, I mean, we'll split even. We'll split by size even.
Those aren't your tips. Those are my tips. I'm the one who deals with the food. You stay out of the food. If you've got issues with the stage, you go deal with the stage.
I didn't.
Right now, you are on my territory.
I didn't see you.
You don't want me to get the Waiters Guild on your ass.
I didn't see you dancing on the table for a ball. I think this tip belongs to me.
This is Waiters Guild territory.
This is what? Sorry.
What? This is Waiters Guild territory. And I know that you union guys, we all stay in our own lanes here. You want me to call my Waiters Union reps here on you?
No.
That's right.
So
I don't want to call them either.
You have a bit of movement left you could use to start walking them towards the door or out a window or whatever your plan is.
Well, I'm probably going to try and use my other arm to grab another one if I can.
I think you only, it's kind of an attack. So
yeah, that's probably,
that
would be another
But you
move.
can start heading towards another one while holding on to the wriggling one.
Sure, yeah.
I'm just going to say the size differential is you'll have an advantage on holding on to them. Okay, that is Kevin. You start heading towards where this third goblin, he's actually up, they're actually up on the stage. All right, Lady Briseis, these disgusting stagehands, stagehand goblins, red skin, needle teeth, they're all just like crawling all over everything. No, I already said, yeah. So you see this last goblin going past you and Timon's booth, and it's heading up towards the stage. A lot of expensive equipment up there.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
I actually wonder if I can cast sleep on all of them.
They're really spread out right now. You would be able to target one, and it would very likely go to sleep. Although where it is right now, you might hit a couple customers.
Well,
they're sitting down.
Also, sleep is like I've never used it before, and there's a lot of math.
Yeah, you roll a bunch of dice, and then depending on their hit points, they go to sleep. But all you have to do is roll the dice, and I'll do the math for you.
Okay. Well, if they're not spread out, then there's. Is it worth using magic missile? Probably not.
You could send one to each.
I could send one to each, but I only have 2 spell slots, and there might be. Yeah. You know what? I hate these things. Magic missile.
Okay. So.
The 3 darts.
Yeah. So one you just swirl a finger indignantly, and 3 little motes of energy appear, and you just send 1 after each of these goblins. So just roll D4 3 times and tell me what the results are, and I will.
Okay. It's D4 plus 1,
D4
right?
plus 1, yeah.
Okay, so 2.
Sure.
4. And 3.
Okay. Okay. The first and last ones hit the goblin. One hits the goblin that Kevin is holding onto, and he's like, "Ow!" He uses his hands to hold onto his stomach, and you can see there's like a little hole burnt in his shirt, and there's a welt where the magic missile hit him.
Oh,
And
well.
he's like, "I was leaving already."
I do not believe you were leaving, sir. But
And
now you will.
the other one that Whiskers has is like, is she part of the crew? This is going into my report. And then the third one, who's going towards the stage, just gets it right in the keister and gets knocked onto the stage, slamming into the drum set and knocking a bunch of the drums around. He's head first through the front of the drum set right now. He's still moving. He's not out cold, but yeah. However, this show of magical force does alert the patrons a little more to what's going on, and they're not like there's not like a commotion starting, but now they think this might be dinner theater of some kind. So they're all kind of like looking around. There's a little bit more clapping from the clapping guy. All right, Vex. You still have the bigger goblin out front, and the 3 standing with him, and he's back to like laugh. He's kind of laughing, and he's still slamming the chain in his hand. This could have gone an easy way, or it could have gone a hard way, and it seems as though we have settled on the hard way.
Can I, like, holding onto him, step in and just close the door behind me, assuming that everyone else is inside? And if there's like a lock, put that down.
Sure.
And
Silvano, do you want to be inside or outside? Because you pushed to the front. It's kind of funny if she closes the door and locks it, and you're standing out there with 3 goblins by yourself, which cracks me up. But yeah, okay, it's up to you.
Oh my god! Oh my! I feel like I'm not going to live if I stay outside, because I know my character and I know that his mouth just will not. It doesn't matter.
Maybe there's a Silvano door. There's a smaller door and the big door, so when it closes, you just kind of like duck into that and close it.
So maybe like slightly nudge you in, like, come on. And then I assume that Lady Featherbottom has like an office.
Yeah, we'll say that she's in it right now, upstairs.
Okay. I look to Lenny, and I'll be like, you can speak to the owner of the establishment.
Okay.
But I'm still gonna carry him and,
right.
glower and be off.
So I need you to make another athletics check, but at advantage. So roll 2 20s and take the highest, since you're so much bigger than this goon. And I will roll to see if he can wiggle away from you.
Okay, and then do I just add my strength to it?
Yeah, because I think you're not sure. You don't have a proficiency in athletics, so just straight up plus 3, I think.
Okay, then 18.
Okay, yeah, no problem. He is like a hamster. He's wriggling around in his own skin, trying to get out of the grip. But all he manages to do is, like, his pants fall down to his ankles, and he's got like heart underwear on underneath. And he's like, oh, boy.
You gotta stop moving.
Yeah, he's thoroughly embarrassed. And so you're starting up the stairs?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That brings us to our first goblin. Yeah, Perseus, perfect. Okay. Right, the one that Kevin is holding is going to try and kick at Kevin. Actually, no. He's going to pull out a little switchblade. Yeah, so he flicks a little switchblade out. And he says, how about this tip? And then he tries to skewer you with it. 19. Does that hit you, Kevin?
Well, what's his reach? And is he going for my arm or is he going for my torso? Because he's probably like 5 feet away from me.
He's poking at your hand and your arm to try and get you to drop him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I roll some kind of defense?
Your armor class is a 14, so yeah, it's beside where your initiative is.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a hit. And I'm going to say that you take some damage, but it's 4 points of bludgeoning damage as the stage blade stabs into you, but not really. So it's really more that he's punching your arm with a little plastic stage knife. And then he looks at it and is like, well, this is useless, and he chucks it over his shoulder. But you do take, what did I say, 3 points, 4 points?
I think you said 4.
Yeah, 4 points.
Oh.
That's the first one. The one on the stage just pulls himself out of the drum and lands on his butt and just dusts himself up and starts like looking. He just goes back to his work. He's poking around. He's like heading towards the speakers with the dials on it. And then the goblin, mashed potato foot goblin, is gonna take. He's gonna try and kick the brewmaster. A 15 against your AC. I don't think that's gonna hit you, but let me take a look. Oh, it just hits you, unfortunately.
But I'm so fast. I got cat-like reflexes due to the fact I'm a cat.
I know. And all that has been factored in, but your AC is still only...
How much should I get hit?
So he's just kicking you. He's not doing a ton. So you actually only take 1 point of bludgeoning
So I have
damage.
6?
You have 7 total at the top.
I mean, like now I have 6, right?
Had you taken a damage before?
No.
Oh, you have 6 now. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool.
That's right. Okay, the 3 goblins outside are gonna start. They're gonna start banging against the Silvano door. They're just gonna like take turns throwing themselves at the Silvano door, the little goblin-sized door in the front. So they're all gonna make feeble athletic checks against this. Nope, that's a 2. Well, that's a nat 1, and that's a 10. Yeah, so anyone close to the door, which I guess at this point would be Vex as you were walking away, you just hear the like lightest little softest little thuds against the outside, and just the loudest.
Was it starting to rain?
Huh?
Oh,
yeah.
is it
Starting to rain?
Yeah, as their fate turns dramatically, we'll also change the weather up, and it's just like they can't get a grip in the mud that's forming out front. And there is a lot of swearing in Goblin, which I don't know if any of you speak.
I think I do.
Oh.
But you would hear Bosco yell, "Hey, language!" So that's the goblins outside. Astrid, you're up.
All right. So I'm inside. What I was considering doing is obviously we have a fantasy pool table in this particular tavern. Yeah. I would like to grab one of the pool cues off the wall, and I'm going to use that for Shillelagh.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And which goblin am I closest to?
I'm gonna say, I mean, you're within moving range of either. You can hit either of the ones that are being held by people. You'll have to use your turn getting to the stage to deal with that one.
Okay. So sorry, who is holding them right now? Is it?
Kevin's got one, and Whiskers has the other.
Okay. So it would be like it would be 2 turns if I wanted to get to the one on stage who's still.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna dash towards the one that's on stage and.
You grab the pool cue. You kind of do like a shotgun one-hand load on it, and it suddenly gets wrapped in like spiny vines and just thickens up into this heavy wooden, like natural-looking wooden club, and just start running. Maybe you're chalking the end of it anyway as you're running towards the stage.
Yep, that's
People
me.
are clapping at all the action that's happening that's around. Yeah. You're like the shillelagh kind of drags across the table, but everyone just like lifts their plates up to get it out of the way, and it just like continues clapping. Okay, Silvano, you're up. You're inside. Goblins have taken over your tavern.
All right, so it's obviously up to me to fix everything.
Yeah, that's how every other
So-
situation has been solved. So
I have to fix everything that's about to happen. So I am going to use, what is it called? My bardic inspiration.
Ooh.
So I am going to jump up on the pool table.
Mhm.
It's more like a sauntering up. I'm just gonna climb on up in that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I'm gonna climb on up and I'm going to start my song to give my beautiful, beautiful lady Vex the respect that she deserves.
All right, so Vex, you are getting some bardic inspiration. So you can actually mark that off on your sheet there, Silvano.
Okay.
And that means you have a 6-sided die that you can roll to add basically to anything. You get to roll it after you see your own roll, but before you know the results of it. So if you're attacking somebody, you can add that d6 and add it to your bonus. If it's a saving throw or any other check, you can add it in. You have it for 10 minutes, which should last this fight. So.
Sweet. Thank you.
Okay. So sorry, instead of the pool table, I'm actually going to get up on the bar, which I think my brewmaster may not necessarily be super happy with, but I'm going to jump up on there. And I'm going to actually go for the goblin that stepped in my beautiful mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Because I'm very upset with that.
Sure.
I worked really, really, really hard. I was going to drop a bomb
Well,
there.
the bowl is like this, right?
Yeah, it's
So, yeah.
humongous. Do you even know how...
That's right.
It was, I had to get Kevin to lift me up. It was a lot.
Evan
was-
holding you over it like a...
Yes, exactly. And the idea that they were going to disrespect, the only person who disrespects Kevin is me.
So your bardic inspiration is a bonus action. So yeah, what action are you taking to attack this? I presume you want to attack the mashed potato goblin?
Yes, I'm going to attack the mashed potato. I'm going to whack him on the head with my spoon.
Well, he's kind of far away, so you'd have to get up to him if you want to do that, which I'll allow. You can go wherever you want.
I'm going to run. I'm going to run on...
And just jump up and smack him?
Run up and I'm just I'm gonna like a spider monkey it. I'm gonna spider monkey this. I'm gonna jump on him and just wrap around.
Okay, perfect. You're basically climbing up whiskers in order to get
exactly
to,
what's happening.
So
all right.
you'll see that your spoon. I'm gonna just quickly change a number here. It is. Yeah, okay. I just changed it so that the spoon is using dexterity. Yeah, so you make an attack roll with a d20, add 5, and tell me the result.
Ooh, I got a 15.
Oh, that's a hit. You leap up and you slam the spoon into the side of the goblin. Now you're going to roll your damage. That's going to be a 4-sided die plus...
Plus a what?
Plus 3.
Plus 3, okay.
Plus 3.
Oh, I got a 4. Wow, plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm
Okay.
a freaking boss!
So, Silvano, you kind of do this, you do like this slow-mo matrix climb up the side of the Brewmaster Whiskers as they're bringing them out. And Brewmaster kind of realizes what you're doing as you've got this massive spoon above your head and just sets you up, like lines the goblin up so that you can hit it. And you just whack it across the side of the stomach and knock it right out of the Brewmaster's hands. And the goblin just kind of like spins and lands right into someone's lap, sitting in a booth, unconscious, like there.
And while this is happening, can I say, you are so beautiful to me?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
good.
That's your Babe Ruth tune as you line up this whack. And there's like a from the crowd, and then the person who got the goblin in the lap like lifts the unconscious goblin over their head, and everyone goes, ah! And they kind of like just hold on to the the unconscious goblin while that's happening. So they are toast.
I'm gonna
they're out
wink
of the
at
fight.
Vex and give him a kissing face.
Okay. Last but not least is the actual goblin boss, Lenny. So Vex, you're basically just hanging on to him and taking him upstairs, right?
Yeah, just putting him kind of out-ish.
So he's like struggling to pull up his pants. And he hikes them up, and he tightens like the loose piece of cord that he uses as a belt. And he's like, you know, you seem like a smart lady. I feel like we could have worked this out on our own.
You could have listened to me.
I did. You told me not to go inside, and I didn't. Now I'm inside. So the joke's kind of on you. I'm still in here.
And
I'm just saying. This could have gone so much better. And then he just uses his little fist to twist around and just punch as hard as he can. Which I will promise you is not super hard. So the first one is a 5, and the second one is an 11. And I know that your AC is 18. So he pulls the second one back, and he's like, Jeepers, what kind of trouble do you get in here? You're kicked
worse
out.
than you.
This is nuts. So that's his extremely ineffectual turn.
I love it.
Top of the round, we've got... top of the round, we've got Whiskers. So yeah, your hands are suddenly free as Silvano kind of does a backflip off of you and bats one out of the park. By one, I mean one of the goblins. So what would you like to do next?
Okay, so that goblin's gone. What are the other goblins doing?
One is still in Kevin's grasp, and the other one is their boss is being dragged up the stairs, or carried up the stairs by Vex. And there's one on the stage that's creeping around, but you can see that Astrid is like bombing towards it. You can hear thump, thump, thump against the little Silvano door on the front of the building. You can see that something's trying to come through. It's maybe like one of the screws is starting to come undone. There's not a lot of damage being done there, but something's trying to get in.
And that's where the other goblins, the other 3?
They're outside, yeah.
Okay.
They're not very bright, so.
Okay, so the boss is taken care of. Because Astrid's got them going upstairs. There's someone sneaking around on the stage who no one's doing anything because Kevin's got the other one?
Sorry. Yes, there's one going up on the stage. Astrid seems to have that one under control.
Yeah, that's my intent. I'm almost there.
Who needs my help the most right now? Wait, what's Welly doing?
Welly is sitting in a beer stein,
cool.
like it's a hot tub.
Cool. Okay, but he's not causing trouble. Okay.
Somehow he's gotten his own tiny glass that he's drinking out of.
Great.
Yeah. His bare ass is just inside of a beer right now.
Okay, great. All right, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't ruining anything.
Yeah, he gives you a little like, yeah, she's a bit, and he winks. Yeah.
Okay, do we have to get rid of all these guys like 100%?
Clear the level?
Yeah, do we have to defeat them?
They're gonna just keep like bothering you.
Okay.
Usually, with goblins, you would know that when their boss is handled, the other ones are like, well, this ain't worth my time no more, and then they all like kind of bugger off. So
cool. I'm gonna follow Astrid up the stairs.
Vex up the stairs.
Vex, sorry, Vex. Oh yeah, head of security. We're gonna kill this. Like the situation, not the goblin. Like Pokemon, they faint. All right, Vex, I'm coming.
Sweet.
Hello, it's me.
Yeah.
Brew kit. I have a dagger as well.
Okay, so you just pull out the dagger and just stab the goblin in her hands? Okay.
No. Sure, if that's what we have to do, I'll be like, do you need me to stab this guy?
I mean, these are
Just
representations of creatures that don't exist. Okay. You can do whatever you want to them.
All right.
And you can still do non-lethal stabbing damage. I know that seems strange, but...
Okay. I think that's... My other skills are like just going really fast. And this doesn't...
You can just use your claws as like...
okay, yeah.
Right? And
I'm
so
going to do
like... a little more.
I did say I was a cat who fights people. Now I'm going to be the cat. You seen that? Now I'm going to fight people. Let's go, Goblin.
All right.
Like lower him a
like
little
Wolverine.
bit so you can hit him.
Yeah, hold him out so that I can be like...
Make an attack roll for me. You'll see on your sheet you've got a list of actions. It's below where your initiative and your armor class is. There's a bunch of tabs.
Ooh.
And so you're going to roll your unarmed strike.
Okay, unarmed strike. Ooh, melee attack, 5 feet. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
+5 to the d20 roll.
Oh, +5. Okay, great. Here we go. Oh, yes, I got a 20! A nat 20. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna take another picture of this. This is the best.
There's just going to be a stream of pictures of
love
20s
this.
coming from Reddy. So you get to double the dice. You get to roll 2d4 instead of 1d4. So roll d4 twice and add them together.
I don't think I have a D4, so the internet.
They look like a little pyramid. They're little, maybe not? Okay.
Are these?
These little guys.
No, they
Nope.
look like
No.
little pyramids.
I don't have a
okay?
pyramid.
They're-
I'm gonna go to the internet. Google will help.
They're green on Google.
Okay, green. Okay, I do 2 of those?
Yeah.
Okay, first one is 2.
Mhm.
Next one is 1.
Okay, that's 3 plus the 3 from your dexterity bonus. So that's 6 points of damage to the goblin boss with just a single pointy punch to the gut. He's like, "Lady, I'm flapping in the wind here." So that's
Dude.
six damage. He's flapping in the winded now. You can use your bonus action to
Hey-ho.
use your bonus action to make another attack if you like.
Yep. Can I KO him? Is that a chance?
We'll see.
Okay. I'm gonna punch him again, I guess, with the other fist.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, go for it. Make another roll. +5.
All right. Okay. Oh, still 20. Okay, I'm not really
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
pretend fight the screen. Okay, here we go.
That's large.
16, but +5, right?
Yeah, that still hits.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep.
Roll your four-sided.
Oh, that was on Google. Okay. Here we go. First one is 1.
1.
Yep.
Okay. So this.
I only get to do 1 this time?
Oh, 1 plus 3. Sorry, it's 4 damage.
Okay.
But unfortunately, this goblin is really wriggly, and he sees the second one coming, and they have a reaction ability, which is kind of redirecting the attack to someone nearby. So he ducks out of the way, and you just full-on punch Vex in the stomach instead.
So sorry, Vex. This was obviously a mistake. You know that this wasn't
I
my
just like went
intention.
down.
You take 2 points of. I'm gonna have the damage since you're in armor there, Vex. So you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as the brewmaster. Brewmaster's skillful claws miss and hit the.
I'm so sorry.
It's
Oh,
the goblins.
good.
The goblins. Okay. Next up is Kevin.
Yeah, so I mean my concern is to sort out these ruined plates. So I got to get rid of this goblin in my hand. I'm trying to think of what the most efficient disposal method is. Like maybe I'd probably pass this goblin on to Vex because security is Vex's
Yeah.
detail.
She's already
And
like
then-
got one, but she's You could also just chuck him out one of the windows they climbed in.
Yeah, that's probably more efficient. So I will do that and then go and check on all of the customers whose plates have been stepped in, figure
Sure.
out how many replacements I need to bring out.
Yeah, I'd allow that. Just you extend one long arm and it goes right out the window and just drops this goblin onto the grass outside. He's like, hey, all right. I can't do anything about this.
Make sure to close the window behind.
Yeah, and there's maybe a little lock that you can latch. Yeah, exactly. All right, that goblin's out of the picture. And then you start going around apologizing.
Yeah,
and
like how many plates were stepped in?
it wasn't so much. Maybe there's like 4 or 5 people whose meals were
Okay.
really messed up. So
You're a
but
good head server.
they're all starting to get distracted by this like entertainment that's happening, so it's not as big a deal. But
Yeah.
you go around and start patching stuff,
Yeah.
scratching things off of bills and things,
Yeah.
So next up we've got Lady Briseis.
I'm just gonna cast my second magic missile because I hate goblins.
That's
So,
fair.
I mean, yeah, they're just like a cut above rats at this point. So, yeah. So one's outside now, right? Are there only 2 now?
There's still one on the stage who's snooping around, and one's unconscious in one of the patrons' hands, and the other one has been thrown out the window. So there's one on the stage and the boss going up the stairs with Vex.
I can't hit the boss, obviously, right?
You could. The
All right.
magic, as the magic missiles, they're within range. So
120 feet. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's send a dart at each goblin then, because people have tried to reason with them. Obviously, my charisma here is useless, so we're gonna use some magic missiles. Oh God, 2 and 4 and 3.
Okay, so are you directing 2 at the boss and 1 at the one on stage? Is that the idea?
Yes.
Okay, so what was the total of the first 2? Do you remember? 2 and 3.
Sorry,
that's
2
5.
and then, well, the first 2 were 2 and 4, so 6, and then
6. Okay.
And the last one was 3.
So 2 magic missiles whirl up the stairs and slam into the boss, and he's like, "This is really not super fair." And Vex, I'm gonna have to get you to do an athletics roll because he might get a chance to escape. All right, and the last one, what was the damage on the last one there?
3.
3? Okay.
And then, do I add anything to my check?
It'll just be your strength bonus.
Okay, then I'm also going to use the inspiration.
Okay.
And that brings it up to 14.
Nice. They rolled a 12, so good choice. The impact almost makes you lose grip on Lenny, but you hold on to him, and he is still hanging in there. He's a little sturdier than the other gobos. All right. The one on the stage gets blasted again and falls somewhere behind the guitar stand, and all the strings kind of like screwing off of it as it like collapses to the ground. So some kobold guitarist, which is 2 kobolds standing on each other's shoulders, is going to be very very miffed.
Well, I'll pay for it. The goblin would have wrecked it anyways.
Okay, that brings us to Vex.
Have I made it to Lady?
Yeah, you can get up to, you can kind of like cover the goblin up a little bit and like scoot up the stairs out of view.
Yeah.
To Lady Featherbottom's office. She has an open door policy, and you can see her sitting at her desk with this long plumed pen, just writing in a ledger.
Okay. So I peek my head in and politely, Lady Featherbottom.
Mm-hmm.
There is a Lenny the Tooth, head of some guild here, that wants to talk to you about the stage.
Lady Featherbottom looks up and says, Now, Lenny, I've gotten all your letters, and I have chosen not to reply to them for a reason. Well, maybe I'd have to. Maybe I will reply to the next one with more firm tone. My establishment runs differently from the ones that you think that you can run a racket on, and I've got my crew. They are eminently talented and eminently capable, and I don't need union help from you. So Vex, that's all I got to say on that. You can drop them out the nearest window.
The nearest level on the stack.
Yeah,
the
maybe there's
floor.
just one right beside you. just push him right through. Yeah.
I mean, I'll open the window because I respect the establishment.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And then just like, can I bonk him on the wall first? Kind of like
Just
make him pass
accidentally.
out?
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Yeah, you're like, oops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
And then drop him out.
Well, before he hears this, and Lenny would be like, wait, we'll work for free. And the pen scritching in the office stops. And says, and Lady Featherbottom says, and you don't get any break time meal. And he says, no, we need the work. We need to be doing stuff. We can run tables. We can I don't want to be dropped out another window today. So Lady Featherbottom kind of gestures to put him down. And he kind of like just is huddled there until his turn comes up.
Can I just like still be holding on to him?
Yeah, maybe you just got a hook in his collar or something like that, finger in his collar. Perfect. All right. The one outside the window is gone. The one on the stage is turn. He stands up, and if it was a cartoon, he'd have birdies around his head, and he looks at the guitar really nervously and then starts to try and restring it. He's like sweating and he's looking around and he's realized he's made a mess. And so he's trying to fix it and he's just making it worse. Which brings us to the ones outside, Ineffectual and Astrid.
All right. So, I take it I've reached the stage by now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I've got my shillelagh / pool cue, and I'm just gonna yell "batter up" and go for that goblin on the stage.
Yeah. He turns. He's looking down. He's about to get the last string in place, and he looks up and sees this pool cue swinging down to smack him. So give me an attack roll with your shillelagh.
That would be. Sorry, do I roll? What do I add to that? That would be.
It'll if you go to the spell, the actual spell, it should tell you your bonus +5.
+5. So that's an 18.
Okay, yeah. I mean these goblins are effectively in their pajamas. So you swing the shillelagh down and the shillelagh cue, and you can roll your damage. That's 1d8 +3.
10.
10? Okay.
Did I kill the poor?
He's like, the goblin looks up and is like, listen, and then right across the face, and they just slam into the curtain and slide down. And you look down, and they've actually like successfully fixed the guitar. You're like, huh. Silvano, the golden ham, it is now your turn.
I am going to go towards my love, Astrid. I am going towards her.
So just to make sure my list is straight in my head, everyone is your love, right?
Listen. Okay,
no, it's fine. That's fine. I'm not calling you out. It's good.
I'm going towards my love, Astrid. I'm going to look deeply up into her eyes. I'm going to grab your hand.
I'm your love now.
My darling, you did a magnificent job. It was beautiful the way that you were able to handle yourself, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to help you.
She did do a great job.
Yeah. Thanks for nothing there, bud. But let's deal with the rest of these goblins.
You're right, my dear. We have time later.
Were you giving a inspiration or anything?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to give inspiration to Kevin.
Okay. You went over and talked to Astrid, but then gave the inspiration to Kevin. I like that.
I'm going to give the inspiration to Kevin.
Perfect.
Kevin deserves something.
So I was just feeling sad because Silvano's never told me that I've done a good job.
Of course not, Kevin. Of course not.
But under
like
Silvano's breath,
kitchen.
Absolutely not.
Under Silvano's breath, he whispers a little song your way, and you feel inspired regardless.
He's
so you
blonde.
got
He's pissed. He'll see you in the mist. Kevin. It's Kevin.
Never heard that one. Can't say I've heard that one. Kevin, you got a D6 inspiration. You can toss along with a roll at any time.
Cool.
And that is Silvano's turn.
Yes, that's it.
And last up is Lenny, who is going to try and run for it. So I'll need an athletics roll from you, Vex. And he'll roll his... Man, my dice are whatever the opposite of hot is. Cold, I guess. Some would say cold is the opposite of hot. What did you get, Vex? Yeah,
22.
Some scientists. 22. Yeah, okay. There's like a tear on the back of the sweater because you just like dig your claw in, and now there's like a hole. And maybe I'll allow you to just scoop him up and hang him on a coat rack that's up there.
I love it.
As Lady Featherbottom comes out from behind her desk and says, "Good work there, Vex. I might put you in charge of these scoundrels to make sure that they don't cause any more ruckus." And Lady Featherbottom starts making her way down the stairs. So I think everyone's outside or unconscious. So I think we're going to end the battle here. The battle. The goblins that have been knocked out they're starting to come to, and Lady Featherbottom stands on the stairs and addresses the crowd that's here and says, "My friends, no, my family. You, I'm
Thanks,
sorry
Colonel.
for the chaos that these strange invaders have caused, but I hope that you got a little entertainment out of this impromptu show. I have to say, we are so busy these days that a little extra help actually ain't so bad, and the last thing I'd want to do is upset our local union, our local roadies and toadies union. So, Lenny, as long as you can keep your crew from not pooping where they shouldn't, I'd like to welcome you to the crew of the Featherbottom. The grease trap needs emptying.
Can I say one last thing?
Mm-hmm.
They don't get free drinks anymore at all. They can't, they attacked us. All of them attacked us. So that was rescinded when they attacked us. So they're welcome, but no more. We don't want to put alcohol in them. No. So.
Exactly, baby. I understand.
Yeah. And
so you're very welcome, but not to drink.
Welly from his little bath, his beer bath, says, "Yeah, that's right. This stuff's for me. I'm the one that gets the free stuff around here." That's it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so now you've got this goblin crew that is going to do all the dirty work, like emptying the grease traps and doing anything.
What about the rats?
The rats are helping cook and stuff.
It's like Ratatouille. We're fine.
Yeah, the rats are held in high regard. This is the goblins are going to be clearing out the grease trap and shoveling goat poop and all this kind of stuff. So they're going to be out and about on the outside, but they just seem happy to be contributing something. And over the rest of the day, they all sort of start falling in line. And indeed, they do poop in the proper place.
I was worried about that.
Yeah.
Thank you for specifying.
No one likes that.
That is the end of the ridiculous Act 2. Let me know if you're feeling break again. I know it feels like we just happened, so I maybe keep going. Okay, we could take another little 5 right now. It just makes sense to take a little break. It gives our audience a chance to go and water themselves as well, which I think everyone should do. So we'll take a little breather and then we'll round out this ridiculous story of the tale of the Featherbottom Tavern.
Yay!
I don't see us yet, but I'm sure we're coming up. There we are. Okay, good.
We weren't even frozen.
We had to do, yeah.
Sat like this.
It looked like we were frozen, but we were just doing a photo shoot. All right, we're back for the third and final act of our ridiculous tale of the Featherbottom Tavern Revue. The mid-afternoon rolls around, and everything is sort of settled back down finally again. This has been the craziest day. The band has been out, supposed to be going out putting posters up. There are 2 towns on either side of this that have a fairly big populations, and you want as many people to come out to the show as possible. But I'm going to say that Kevin is in charge of the kobolds, just for fun. And they, while you're out on a smoke break, maybe just a break, whatever you want to do on your break, Kevin. 9 kobolds. There's one that's standing on their own, and then the rest of them are all paired up, sitting on each other's shoulders. Because that's how the only way they can play the instruments is they run over to you, and they're like, "We have a problem. You gave us a lot of flyers to put up, and we wanted to. We really did. And one of them tugs on the handle of a red wagon that, as obvious, was used to be full, and there's a couple of loose papers in there. We had a run-in with one of our neighbors. The paper drake raided our wagon. Our widow wagon has been weighted. So, you're on kind of a bluff at the tavern's on a bluff that has a mountain further up behind. It's where the dwarves live and all this kind of stuff. This massive, it's called the Thundercrack Mountains, and they are normally it's just a calm place. The dwarves sometimes roll down, the miners roll down to get some drinks, but there is a creature. At the top is an old elven library that had been destroyed long ago. Some apocalyptic thing had taking it out, and a creature, a sort of a pseudo dragon named a paper drake, had moved in. They are really keen on just being surrounded by papers and books and things like that, and abandoned libraries. And sometimes the more aggressive ones go to operational libraries and cause problems. So on their way down the side of the mountain, it seems as the kobolds had lost all their flyers to the paper drake. You do have enough time to get them up, but you have to get them back. And these kobolds are like close to tears. They're like so disappointed in themselves. I know there's 9 of us, but even if we stack all the way up, we're barely tall enough to deal with anything. So, and then it swooped down, and it was real scary, and the paper cuts were just too much, and so there's no posters up yet. But the show's tomorrow, right?
No, that's today. Like, that's happening.
That show's today.
Oh yeah, it's in 3 hours.
We could go back. I guess we could go back and ask nicely.
Oh goodness, what are we gonna have to do? Hey folks, and I kind of try to grab everybody's attention, all of the staff anyway, and say we're gonna have a little all hands just in the walk-in. So kind of get everybody into like ye old fantasy walk-in fridge, just so we can have like somewhat private conversation.
Right. Equivalent of a walk-in fridge, yeah.
Astrid, I'd follow you anywhere.
No.
You're a cook here. We have HR.
Do we?
I haven't forgotten.
Is that Featherbottom? Lady
Featherbottom is HR, yeah.
Featherbottom's HR. I thought
None of us are
feel
human,
safe.
are we?
That's true.
Wait, are we also unionized in a separate way? Okay.
Featherbottom has your back. Strong anti-harassment policy.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
So watch out. You know what I have on my side?
Wait.
Right.
That's a bad word around here.
Oh, dang.
Ah, just beer sponsorship.
Right,
what did you think I meant?
Jeez,
Jeez, everyone, calm down.
Of course. Right, so Astrid and Kevin, you give this information to the crew?
Yes.
It's maybe a half-hour walk up to the library. It's kind of a scenic backdrop to this place, so it's not too far away. But do you think any of you would have had any interactions with the paper drake before?
I feel like maybe
Possibly.
Bex might have.
Yeah.
As like, being our security chief seems like something that she would kind of be keeping, tabs on.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That would make sense.
I think she would have familiarity. Yeah.
Would Paper Drake be like Drake the performer? Because maybe I met him to be an entertainer in another town. I just assume it's Drake who likes paper.
The paper drake is a large dragon that has that scales it's white scales, but they are parchment colored scales that have runes just kind of scribed on them as though they were papers. No, it's
never
different.
that.
It's
Never
different from
that.
Drake. Yeah.
Drake the rapper, different. Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
No interaction.
I wouldn't say that they were kind. They're a very selfish creature, but they also haven't caused a lot of trouble. But they do have all your pamphlets or your posters. You don't have time to make more. They were all hand screen printed.
Who designed?
I would like to say. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say to every single one of my staff members here that on behalf of the kitchen and my own self-worth, I will get these flyers back. I will make sure that this whole event goes off without a hitch. Or my name is not Slavano the Golden Ham. Thank you. That's it. Just wanted to let everyone know this.
All right, Silvano's running a solo mission. That's cool.
Just make sure everyone had this. Kevin?
I will say it's unlikely that you think it's unlikely that you would be able to best this creature in combat, but
Yes,
you may be able to talk to it.
I was thinking of trying to negotiate using my noble background and trying to persuade and see if I can ask it to lend us the pamphlets back for use for the night, and we will return them to it.
So, are you going to assemble a party and make your way up to this to the library to talk to them? Or are you going to shout it out the window and hear? Lots of options.
I think it would be interesting to take the party with. I also just don't want to diverge and go do my own thing.
I would like you to, yeah.
So yes, let's do that.
Is everyone on board with heading up to the Paper Drake? There's now more than enough staff. I mean, you've got 7 more goblins that are sort of doing things.
Are they really trustworthy though? That's my concern here.
Bosco has taken a very major interest in it, and he has come over to you, Astrid, and he says, "Don't worry, I will make sure that these filthy creatures keep their feet out of people's meals."
Is this the first time we've heard Bosco speak?
He said something earlier, but I don't remember what it was.
Can we get Grinda, the ogre woman that I bought a drink for, to work for us? Because I believe that Astrid said that she had a crush on me, and I'd like to use that.
Grinda says, "If the goblins act terribly, I'll cave in their little heads."
Oh, you're so glorious. Thank you. I'm so glad we met. Next drink's on me. I'll be right back. You are the dream of the world. That sounds perfect. Love it. Keep it up.
You're one of the good ones, Whiskers.
On our way out the door, I'd also just like to stick my head in Lady Featherbottom's office, see what she's up to, and just be like, "So we gotta go do a thing out there in the world. We'll be right back."
You know, that's what the world's for. Their darling is to go out in the world and do things. So as long as you're back for your show, and someone's keeping an eye on those goblins.
Wouldn't miss it for all the world, but you might just want to take a look out there. Look over them every once in a while.
Oh, I've got an eye on things, and she points at a couple of crystal balls that are all like monitors, and there's one for every major area. Don't worry, if there's trouble, I'll be right there.
All right. So
okay, to the mountain.
To the mountain we go.
Yeah. It's mid-afternoon, starting to get into a dusk, or the sun's starting to get low, and the 6 of you make your way up the winding path. This elven ruin is beautiful. It's like Art Nouveau dream that has crumbled unfortunately to pieces. But there's enough of it to kind of have these walls that still have bookshelves with these rolling ladders of various heights so that you can get up to them. A lot of the books are damaged, unfortunately, and there's paper and things scattered everywhere. But in the middle, as you approach, you can see snoring in the middle is this magnificent parchment-colored dragon that is just snoozing on a nest of papers. And periodically, as you approach, you see its eye open, and it leafs one of your posters off of a stack of them, and just eats it.
Oh.
And then goes back to sleep.
Before we get up there, I want to kind of just ask the party, anyone got spare paper that they don't mind parting with? Some nice parchment?
Yeah. Let's take a look and see.
I probably have a notepad.
I have simple
that I take orders on.
If you wanted to have brought an offering for them, that's something that you could have
Yes.
planned for. Absolutely.
Okay, then that would be very nice to do.
Okay, so in chat we've decided that Lady Briseis's love,
Oh.
Timon, is with you.
No one asked us to come. I was like, well, I guess I'm there, but like, did I just be like, I'll see you later? I'm gonna go follow the staff
Timon
out the door
says-
for no reason.
Timon says, "A dragon," and he pushes himself out of the booth. "A dragon! We must investigate, my love.
Oh yes, I love dragons. I'd like to see one.
Should we go by horse?" And he like puts his arms on his shoulder and stumbles.
No.
We can walk.
Let's walk.
Walking is good. Fresh air and walking
Walking
is good.
is good right now.
I'm gonna
yes,
bring this
let's do
water,
that.
and he grabs the water.
Yes, that's. You are a sensible man, and I love you for it.
Yeah.
I can interject. I'll protect you, my lady.
I'm quite well protected, Silvano. But I thank you. I actually have a draconic ancestor, so I'm not really afraid of dragons.
I see.
But I appreciate your bravery as always.
Thank you.
So yeah, leading the pulling up the end of the group is Briseis and Timon, linked arms to go see the dragon. Right. So what you were talking about having an offering of some kind, or
Yes, like a nice parchment or
there's a
something
stack
that
of
is-
menus right beside the door. If they like eating paper, then paper that's got food stuff on it might be even more delicious. You don't even know.
That sounds great.
And
Yes.
everything is a piece of art in Featherbottoms because it just takes so much time to do. You don't have a printing press, so you have to make sure everything looks nice. So even the menus, which are just these large pieces of parchment, are like perfectly illustrated.
I like the idea that maybe somebody grabbed a like a large vat of the mashed potatoes on the way out the door. I don't know if that would.
Sure. Kevin, do you want a big container of mashed potatoes under one arm?
Well, I'm just trying to think what the end is to.
I would eat some.
To
I
this
would have some
notion.
of that.
Well, it's more, I think, the image of Kevin for me eating a bunch of mashed potatoes out of a thing.
It's
as
true.
you-
I do need those carbs to
Yeah.
to fuel this adventure.
Yeah, there's a carbo loading
Yeah.
opportunity here. Yeah, I mean, mostly when I'm playing D&D, I just do things that I think that look funny in my head. So
Yeah.
that's all that really qualifies that.
Do we
Perfect.
know the paper dragon's name, or what to address it by now? Or Drake? Thank you.
Aubrey.
Their name is Leaf.
Leaf.
Leaf,
Yeah.
Leif.
I love it.
All right.
Okay.
So we're trudging up the mountain. Is that what's happening right now?
Yep. And you've got some menus under one arm and a huge vat of mashed potatoes being carried up by Kevin.
I grabbed
I'm hungry, and it would have been rude not to bring enough for everyone.
That's right. Yeah. Are you barehanding eating it right out? Do you have a spoon?
I have a spoon.
Okay.
I'm a professional.
Kevin is a consummate professional, is what I was going to say. Cool. So yeah, you make your way up, and then you see this scene, this serenely slumbering paper drake, surrounded in a nest of books and paper, occasionally pulling a parchment off of a stack that of your posters, munching away on them.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yes. I have us stop a respectful distance away from him, her, it.
Them's fine.
Them, yes.
Yeah.
And the next time it opens its eyes and looks at us, I want to just address it. Pardon me, Lord of the Library Leaf.
Yeah, so at a certain point, one eye kind of opens up, and these like orangey yellow eyes stare at you, but don't say anything. Sure, and go ahead, Vex.
Okay. We have come to request a a bit of a small compromise regarding the papers that you have wonderfully taken today. We would like permission to use them for the night and return them to you.
Without moving, Leaf says, "These papers were being trundled along by a crew of kobolds. How do I know that they belong to you? I took them fair and square."
At which point Astrid kind of jumps up, grabs, one off of a pile and, kind of holds it up next to her face and is like, "Look, see, it's me. It's me. It's me. We're doing a show tonight. It's going to be so much fun. You should come."
So you jump up and right up to where they are, because it's basically right beside their face. Is that what you're doing? The dragon's not going to attack you. I just want to understand what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so you hold it up to the eye. Okay. Leaf, as though they have been resting here for an eternity, pushes themselves up to their full height, and long neck comes up and then hooks back down to stare at the paper. Like it turns its head pigeon style to look one eye at the piece, and then the eye goes up and it looks at you and says, "I've seen many an illustrated book, and this looks nothing like you." And Leaf snatches it out of your hands and just crunches it away. "I frightened those kobolds and I took their treasure for myself. That is the way on the mountain.
Sorry. Yes.
I hope your show goes well, but these belong to me."
Beautiful creature. Are we doing turns or are we just talking or what?
Oh, sorry. I'm going to go for it if you want. I'll be quiet. Please.
Are we speaking in Draconic or does it speak Common?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
I have Draconic, but...
The dragon would see that there's a variety of people, so the paper drake speaking Common.
I'll just feel like, okay,
But you can talk in Draconic.
I'll talk in Draconic just to show some respect. "Beautiful dragon. Of course, you're entitled to the treasure you took. We're just asking, maybe I could replace it for you. I have lots of parchment that I could bring to you, perhaps tomorrow, if you would let these people use this tonight. It's just that their show will go well, but they need money for the show. They are working people and working performers, and people won't know about the show if they can't use the flyers for tonight. I honor you, and I promise I will bring you parchment tomorrow. My love and I will both carry lots of parchment for you, won't we, darling?"
Timon says, we're helping the dragon?
We're helping the dragon.
"We're going to help you, dragon." He slides the blade back into his thing. That's what we're doing.
Yes. We like dragons.
So I'll say, Briseis, you can make Lady Briseis, you could make a persuasion roll, and with the help of everybody's convincing, we'll see what the result is.
All right, that is a 21, 16 plus 5.
Very nice. I have not had fresh parchment in what feels like eons. So when I saw this delicately illustrated pile of deliciousness wheeled by in that ridiculous red wagon, I thought, Leaf, you're worth it. And I swooped down from the mountain, and I gathered up those chiefs, and I scared those goblins, which that's not super, a kobold's part of me. That's not super difficult. I'll admit that. That's child's play. And then I swooped back up. I earned these, maybe easily. If you could bring me something as delicious or better, perhaps a library I could raid.
Ooh, well.
They lick their lips.
I mean, my father donated a lot of money to a library. Maybe I could bring you some books?
You gonna trash my fantasy city somewhere else? Is that what you're gonna do?
No. I'm just gonna go get some books that no one's using.
Perhaps.
Whatever you would desire, as long as these good people could put on their show and have some patrons come and give them money and cheer for them, I'm happy to give you any reward you'd like.
The paper drake eyes sort of nods at you and then eyes the mashed potatoes and says, "Is that pulp?"
These are potatoes, but you may try them if you like.
Oh, they're most delicious.
Ugh.
If you
They-
like, there's no need to. You don't have to.
So Silvano, we can't hear you.
He just say,
Silvano, please, not now.
Did he just say,
If
Please,
that
no,
was a
not
vat, if that was a vat of pulp straight from a mill, then I would be very keen. But no, potatoes don't see the sun. No interest. No interest.
We could get you some. I mean, not today, but I could give you my word that I would bring you some pulp tomorrow.
The drake reaches out, grabs half the papers, and pulls it close and says, "I'll take half."
What do
You
we
can have
think
the
about
rest.
half?
I mean,
paper post.
We don't really
Malone
have
already
time
offered
to
us
do a
lot
full
more.
round of postering anyway.
Right, the show's in a couple hours.
Yeah, I think half's probably more than we can actually do.
Okay. And then some books for you tomorrow, and then we can take the other half.
Fine, but I expect them at your earliest convenience.
Sure. I've never been to the university. Maybe I'll meet some interesting people there.
Just bring back the oldest volumes you can. Aged like wine.
You have my word.
You said you're putting on the show.
They are. They're putting on a show, yes.
The drake splits the pile delicately and says, "If I give you half of this back, will that cover my ticket cost for the evening?"
Yes.
I strike an imposing stature, and they stretch out. "Do you have a place for such as me?"
We do have a special door. You could come in around the back.
You could sit on the outside deck patio and like stick your neck in and watch it.
We couldn't
an
use the show
option.
outside, possibly.
You could be at the back. You could sit in the rafters.
Well,
I think
then,
we've got some extra cushions that we can use to set up a lovely chin rest.
Made out of paper.
well, perhaps my shadow will darken your performance this evening. I warn you, I have read and consumed some of the finest performances ever put to paper, so my expectations are high.
You should give us more flyers then.
BMW.
It's a good point.
But the lovely dragon has been very generous, and I think we should probably take our leave.
I too am a rapper. I get it, Drake. So I respect you a lot, and I'm sorry if you've caused any issues.
I mean, he did insult my food, but we're gonna
That was
gonna
really-
glaze over this. Okay, we're gonna just not talk about it. Is that
Thank
what we're
you.
gonna do?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what we're gonna do. Thank you, Dragon.
They are a dragon. So
I feel like Astrid just like kind of takes her hand and like puts it over Silvano's mouth to just be like, "Silvano, not now."
On your love.
So the leaf lowers themselves down again and curls back up, pulls what's left of the posters closer, and peels one off like delicately, and chomps it, and says, "I'll see you this evening," and just drifts off into their weird papery sleep. And you can make your way back. The postering effort goes fine for the rest of the day, and the kobolds split from their pairs to cover more ground, which really they should be doing more often. And the two towns that neighbor this mountain are just peppered with papers. And evening comes, and there's a swooping sound as Leaf lands with a thud beside the building, craning their neck in through the double doors, past the goats that don't pay attention, and scaring the bejesus out of Welly, who falls backwards into a bowl of salad that someone's trying to eat at the bar. And the person just chucks it aside. Am I late?
Just in time.
Not at all.
Where's that head pillow? I can't hold
I-
my neck here this whole time.
I have a bedroll. He can have that. It's in my
Perfect.
inventory. Here you go.
Very comfortable.
We
Was
can
for you
cover it with
specifically.
papers for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Rapid.
yell for Kevin, and I'm gonna say, Kevin! My God, where is this?
order?
What did you say to Kevin?
I was asking for the head pillow.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
just yelling. I'm just yelling for Kevin.
Kevin
There's no
is
rhyme or
desperately-
reason. I just yell
Yep.
for Kevin all the time. There's just no
Yep.
reason for it.
We're already setting it up. We have a bunch of cushions that we use for our weekend drum circle group that
Perfect.
we're now kind of arranging artfully
Perfect.
under Leaf's jaw.
Thank you.
Right.
I knew I would figure it out.
So I like to go around and have everyone tell me what you contribute to the show that night, whether it's a performance or how you're helping out, and I want to hear the little snapshots of how the show goes. It's a rave success, obviously, and the bar just fills up with people from miners from the mountain. You've got a whole damn dragon here. All of the goblins have like emptied their pockets of coppers and they're checking them onto the stage, which is pennies, but it's still nice. So let's go around. We'll start with Astrid, and we'll go in clockwise order.
So Astrid goes up to her room in the inn and changes into her fabulous belly dance costume. She's really excited because she made this all herself. It's inspired by nature. She's just like, okay, she's looking at herself in the mirror. It's like, you have got this. You've been practicing. You're talented. You've got everything it takes, kid. And that she grabs Ashira. She's like, Ashira, let's go. And then, she goes downstairs and is ready to kick off the evening with a very high energy, high excitement, charisma-filled performance with her and Ashira. And she dances like she's never danced before.
Who's hosting, I should say? Who's at the mic introducing the acts?
I mean, I feel like BMW makes the most sense, but
It was me.
All right. Can you give us a little intro for Astrid as they come out on stage?
Oh, absolutely. Hello, you may recognize me. I'm from behind the bar, but here I am to introduce the most incredible act that you have ever seen, which is, of course, the reason you're here, not because we had to make some weird deal with you to give you free drinks so you don't attack us. So, Astrid has been trained. We've known her for ages, and we know she has more talent, but we want to give her the stage that she deserves and the platform that you will all enjoy. So, please, it's live performance. Be as loud as you want. Write nice things on the Twitch stream if hypothetically you're in that dimension. But Astrid will blow your mind. It'll be certainly a night to remember. Enjoy.
All right.
Back to the bar for me.
Astrid, your performance, I'm not even going to have you roll. Nat 20 across the board. All right. So Whiskers, I guess you're going to do a little intro for everyone once they explain their show. I think that makes most sense. So, Vex, how are you contributing to the show tonight?
I am first and foremost at the door, just making sure that the people coming in are not completely drunk, are respectful, and a good audience. And as we kind of like close down not close down, but close the door so that the show can start. I will be hanging back respectfully and just making sure with several perception checks that we keep everything in line so that things, before they even get bad, I can just take care of them.
Yeah, Astrid put in the chat checking weapons at the door, and I think there's probably 8 or 9 barrels filled with weapons that you have to keep an eye on, that any number of kobolds and goblins are trying to get their hands on. So yeah, maybe Whiskers, you can give us a little shout out to your defense, your automated defense system.
Vex is the absolute most incredible security that you could have. Blocking the doors, no problem. A lot of people could do it, but doing it in a way that charms people when they come in, they don't feel offended that they're not allowed because they're too drunk. You just, she's able to bring that joy, of everyone has had a good time, but maybe tonight's not your night. Come back another time. They leave feeling appreciated, but also in charge of like 2 like full barrels of like guns and like AK-47s and other gun names.
Yeah.
That happen, and we're very thankful to have her. But I certainly feel very safe at all times when she's there. She's very tall. People find that intimidating.
Whiskers, I have to ask that you put the word fantasy in front of AK-47, or it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, fantasy.
Yeah. Yes. Fantasy AK-47s. Yeah.
Fantasy.
Okay.
Yes.
We've got the immersion back. That's good. All right. Next up around is Kevin. Does Kevin have any talents, or what's Kevin?
Well, I'm busy making sure that everyone's got their drinks, everyone's got their fantasy apps, little fantasy mac and cheese bites and whatever else, whatever other specials that Silvano has prepped to go along with tonight's entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Slinging apps at the speed of daggers. Fantasy chicken nuggets. Yeah, fantasy nugs. I can only imagine how delicious they are. All right. Whiskers, we got to hear the shout out to the serving staff.
Absolutely. I just want you to know, Kevin, you're very appreciated. And all the nugs on the house forever. And by that, I mean the entirety of tonight. We can't afford to give you them all the time. But you are incredible, especially when Silvano is calling you, and just the patience, and also you've never got a bad review. The customers love you so often. I came here for my anniversary, this drunken tavern. This is where we met. We didn't even remember it. But they remember you. And
is this fantasy Yelp talking?
This is fantasy Archie. And I just want you to know that I recognize it. I know, like, you bring drinks, you don't spill them. You're not like Welly, who is someone who's apparently to help me, but it seems like a mean joke. But then I have you. So Kevin, we couldn't do anything without you. Thank you.
BMW's MVP.
Yeah, I need you.
All right, that brings us to Silvano. Apps are a foregone conclusion. Fantasy, vegan fantasy nuts.
I have made amazing apps for this evening. I have just created this amazing
What is the thing that you created just for this evening?
So just for this particular evening, I created these massive pies in little cupcake tins.
Right.
So for me, they were massive.
So you come out holding them like this, and then you hand them to Kevin, and Kevin's holding it like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're massive pies to fulfill your appetite. They are steak and kidney pies that I'm going to be making steak and kidney pies. And then I've also made a vegan vegetarian option, and they're going to be filled with tofurkey.
Very nice.
That I've roasted myself.
Would it be tofurkey, or is it like tophoenix?
Phoenix? I like it. Okay.
What are fantasy birds?
Yeah.
The best thing is, as soon as you've eaten it, you get another one immediately.
It's a little burnt.
2 for 1.
So
as soon as everyone has eaten their Phoenix,
glazed it all up.
Another one pops up in the back. Okay. So over the night, tins. The floor starts getting covered in tins like peanut shells, because people are eating so many of these cupcake-sized pies. And yeah, they sell like hotcakes, or hot pies, I guess, in this case. So yeah, let's hear the announcers.
Silvano. Silvano is a member of our team. Silvano is the best chef that we've ever had. Michelin people come from around the world, and they often ask to meet the chef, and I say that he has already left. They have a great experience that allows us to have amazing reviews consistently come in, and, often we are very thankful. Thank you, Silvano. Thank you for your angel's touch at food. Everyone loves it.
Wherever you are.
Thank you.
Left.
Yeah.
All right. And last but not least, Lady Briseis.
All right. Well, Timon and I are being excellent audience members. So we are cheering a lot for the acts. We're not talking during the numbers. We're tipping generously. We are drinking, but we're not being like Timon's drunk, but he's nice. He's a nice drunk. And we are signing up for like the Ravens to bring us parchments for when the next show is going to be. And then we tip the bartenders really well too, obviously. And then we are going to get a room, and then we're going to tip the maids really well, and then we'll pay for breakfast in the morning.
I see. I see what you're hinting at.
Well, yeah, we're just going to get a room. We need to sleep. We don't want to run
support local. I like it.
Yeah.
Fantasy support local.
But yes, we're very good audience members.
So obviously, Whiskers, the last thing you do is thank the audience for their hooting and their hollering, which they do constantly all day long anyway, so it's not that big a leap to be doing it in a specific direction. So say some nice words about the audience.
Yes. Oh, the audience. Thank you. Always the best. This would never happen without you, because I can promise you that alcohol almost sells itself, but you still need someone there to legally sell it. Same thing for food. Silvano, the chef, same thing for an audience. If no one came to see Astrid, and also if someone came to see Astrid and was drunk, thank you, Vex. That's really important. And you just can't, you've got to make sure everyone feels really comfortable. And if you are going to be drunk, be a nice drunk. Like lady's husband, like he's, Timo? Timon. It says
is not a husband,
like Timon. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Person. I understand. I apologize. Nice drunk. So the audience, we do this for you. I put this hat on to talk to Drake the dragon, which I was wrong about. Didn't work out the same way. I made up a rap and everything. But yeah, without you, nothing would be possible. You're incredible. Thank you. I'm going to just step behind the bar. That's what I actually know. I just did the emceeing so I could save money and not have to hire one.
Yeah. And everyone in the audience is sort of nodding at each other like, yeah, we are important. And then all of them
give yourself a round of applause.
The rest of the show goes without a hitch, and the dragon gives it 3 stars, which is pretty good. They're snooty. Yeah, the first Featherbottom review goes off without a hitch, and another one's planned for the next day, and you have to do it all over again. And that has been the Featherbottom Tavern Variety Review. So thank you all. Thank you all.
Yay!
Yay!
You did some level 1 trials and tribulations. Good
also,
job.
I want to give Kevin a shout out for being Kevin.
And
Yes.
We served Leaf origami chicken wings.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
We got a
Delicacy.
3? Oh my God.
BMW, somebody in the chat is asking for a BMW mixtape. So.
Oh yeah, thank you. I will go to Twitch after this, and yeah, if you could at Mark Ronson for me, because I would he exists. Fantasy Mark Ronson. I will send that mixtape out on the Facebook group.
Okay, good. We'll make sure it gets to the people who want to hear it, if there are any. I think we're going to go around and say thanks to have all of you. Well, first of all, thank you all for playing. It was really fun putting this together for you. Thank you everyone who's watching. The tip jar is going to be open until we're all done talking, so please click on that and take a look. Your performers are listed there, but we're going to get to know a little bit about them, and they can tell us what they've been up to and what's going on. So I think we'll start reverse clockwise order again, and we'll start with Lady Briseis. Scarlett, tell us a little bit about who you are and if you got stuff going on.
Okay. Hi, I'm Scarlett. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Jordan, and thank you, Jess, and thank you, Girl Burlesque, for this. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I am a producer and performer. I produced the Game of Thrones show from 2012 to 2019. I do Bad Girls of History. I've done several shows for the ROM. It's hard to say what I'm doing right now. I'm not the type to produce an online show, so you're probably not going to be seeing that because I just don't feel like. No shade to anyone who does it. That's great. I have certain aesthetics. So I have Bad Girls of History planned for September. I don't at this point know if that's going to happen in September. But I am still taking pitches if you're a performer and you want to go to my Instagram because it will happen at some point. So.
And if you need a really fun person to roleplay with, any of these fine folks are awesome. But I actually get to roleplay with Scarlett every couple weeks, and we have a good time. So
Thanks.
if you need an extra player, any of these folks will do. Yeah.
That's true. I'm always up for more role playing. Thanks,
Mm.
Next around is Silvano. I don't even. I can't even. Words. The words don't exist for Silvano.
So Silvano, the golden ham. Now, I would like to say that this is not basically just myself with a mustache painted on, but
You're saying you can't say that. Okay.
I can't say that. No, but I want to firstly thank you very much, Jordan. Thank you very much, Jess. Thank you so much, Nerd Girl. I've had a blast. This is so much fun. I'm pretty new to D&D, so like I haven't really played too much, and I had a really great time. This was like a lot of fun. So thank you for including me.
Glad everyone did a great job with the rules and stuff. So yeah, I hope that you had a blast. Good.
Yeah, it was fabulous. It was great.
And,
My name is Fanny Fulham-Wider. It's Fanny Fulham-Wider if it has a thingy.
Yeah. And that's where we can find you on socials.
Yeah, all the socials. It should all the thingies. You can find it pretty much on whatever. Pretty friendly. There it is.
All righty. Next around is Kevin. I was telling everyone during our setup that I use the word stan, the popular word with the kids, stan, today to describe how I feel about the bugbear Kevin. I have never used it in my life, and but I used it. I stan Kevin. Bugbears are second to hobgoblins as my favorite of the creatures. So, but you are the glue that holds this crazy restaurant together. So, yeah.
Shucks. Yeah. Just hold it all with my long arms.
You do, yeah. You just hug the whole place. Tell us a little bit about yourself there, Helen.
So I'm Helen of Tirana. I'm a founding member of Girl Burlesque, and was sad when we had to cancel our D&D show, but thankfully Delicia and Jordan and Jess all put together this lovely replacement event or placeholder event. So that was great. I have very, very little role-playing experience. So I played Kevin once 1 year ago when Jordan hosted a little one-shot for Delicia's birthday, and I'm happy to take a little moment to flesh them out a bit more. I briefly joined a Changeling the Dreaming group in high school about 1,000 years ago that only met like once every 3 months or something. So I don't even know what a story is. So this is new for me. So thanks everyone for coming out and supporting. So yeah, I'm Helen of Tirana. You can find me under that name on the Instags, on the Twitters. I'm offering portrait commissions. I haven't put the info up yet, but if you want to be drawn as a D&D character or my D&D character, I don't know, just hit me up and we'll talk.
You specialize in bugbear portraits?
I can.
Okay. Good. I kind of want a bugbear drawing of myself.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
So we're gonna I'm gonna be in touch.
Flex my furry muscles are very rusty, but we'll work on that. That's what this time is for, right? Is to hone those skills.
Exactly. That's what we're supposed to be doing, apparently.
Yep.
I take a lot of naps. So next up is Bex, or by night known as Eden.
Yes, so I am Eden Draconis, and I'm actually from Iowa in the States, and things are just as crazy as they are elsewhere. So this has been a really wonderful experience of online D&D because I had never done that before. It's been a hot second since I've done D&D in general. So thank you very much to everyone that was part of this. And thank you to Girl Burlesque for having me theoretically be part of, the show and then getting to participate in this as well. I hope that we are able to reschedule it and that things go through when that happens again. But yeah, you can find me as Eden Draconis on Facebook, Instagram, and if that doesn't work, put a period between the two words and you'll probably find me. So yeah.
All right, awesome. Next up is Reddy.
Hi,
I'm ready to rumble. You might not have recognized me because of my cool backwards hat. Much cooler.
Oh, you're ready. Oh, okay.
It's me.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Jess Jordan. This was so much fun. You may not have realized, but I haven't played D&D since I was 10, and I got kicked out immediately. So
I don't understand. Now that I played one full session with you already, I have no idea why they would kick you out.
Thank you. I think I was one time, like, they're like, we found the important scroll, and I may have set it on fire. So.
Oh.
But I mean, like, one time I was in grade, I don't know, whatever actual grade 6
You
is.
buried the lead a little bit there, but that's all right.
Thank you. Yeah, no, this was a Nerd Girl Burlesque, of course, super fun. Thank you. This was great. I understand why everyone loves D&D now. Yeah, absolutely. Helen of Toronto, I definitely want Brewmaster Whiskers. Like, I'm like, everyone, she's very good at drawing, like, and illustration. Anyway, if you, I don't have anything coming up unless you want to actually grab a drink, because my actual job is bartender in the summer, but we can't go outside now. So if you could just @ Mark Ronson, my @ for no reason, just be like, you should follow her. Take your pick. It's @Complainer, or if you just want to follow me and see life, I guess. It's like Complainer, but with a B. It's as if I complain all the time. It's very confusing. Anyway, that would be great. Thank you. It's been very fun. Thank you, audience. It was such a pleasure with everyone.
Could I hire you to do Zoom emceeing of my life as I do things?
Oh my God. Oh yeah, that would be great. I would love, if you need to be like, send me pictures. I'll be like, and waking up, congratulations, rolled out of bed. Oh my God. Not even like more than 2 water bottles.
You don't understand how much, Reddy, you don't understand how much I need that. So I've got to be in touch.
Done, please. Yeah, absolutely. And also, I wanted to look like a cat, but it took minimal makeup. So if you need someone to look like a cat.
Yeah, it's very good. You did very well.
Thank you.
The backwards hat is a very nice touch. The last but not least is Loretta.
Hi. Yeah, so I'm Loretta Jean. Thank you so much, Jess, Jordan. Also, huge thanks to Delicia Pastiche, our other co-founder and producer for Nerd Girl Burlesque, for bringing us all together and making this happen. A lot of organizational stuff that happens behind the scenes that you don't see to, coordinate this many humans to play this many fantasy peeps. I currently don't have any scheduled shows coming up because, like, what is life even anymore? But like many performers and people in the arts, we have, we're not talking about that, BMW. We've lost gigs and stuff. So if you are able to tip us, we really appreciate all those tips. All the tips that we collect today are going to be evenly distributed between our performers. So and the people who played today. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Nerd Girl is probably very soon, we're almost ready to announce that we will be doing some kind of online show in June. So if you want to follow us on all the social media, we're generally at Nerd Girl Burlesque, with the exception of on Twitter, we're at Nerd Girl Burlesque, I think, because, back in the day when it mattered how many characters there were in your name. Anyway. That's who we are. You can also find me on social at Loretta Jean. Sometimes there's a period or an underscore in there, but I'm always at Loretta Jean. And thank you so much, everybody. This was super, super fun. I had a great time. I don't know if anybody could actually see my ears, but they were being tricky to get on.
Appreciated your
ears. You got them on. That's good.
I appreciate it.
So
and there was
Let's go to a festival.
There was requests for more animals, so I'm just gonna say, Sarah, thank you. Thank you.
And I guess that just leaves me. I'm Jordan. You can find me on Twitter at Made of Cartoons. I was so happy that we could make this work. I have run D&D for a bunch of you, but I've also helped out at shows and things, and it just to get to hang out with you for a few hours has been an absolute delight. I'm glad that you all seem to enjoy the dumb little story I came up with.
Awesome story, not dumb little, totally fun. Awesome. Totally get.
I use dumb as a word of endearment for my.
Yes, in which case, dumb.
Dumb. Okay, thank you. You can see me often or fairly regularly on Jess's channel, and I want to give a big thank you for Jess for allowing us to or hosting us here. She's been behind the scenes, making sure that the Twitch screen doesn't erupt in flames, because that's what would happen if I was doing things. So thank you, Jess. Yeah,
Thank you.
Jess, do you want to say hello? I don't know if everyone heard the no, but okay. There was just a simple no from Jess, but she is an amazing streamer. She's got an amazing community here. It's one of the best. And so all through the week, you can watch her play various different games, really chill video game streams, a lot of Animal Crossing these days. And then on the weekends, every once in a while we get in some role playing. Fridays are like an indie RPG night, so we alternate between playing a game called Fiasco, which is exactly what it sounds like, and then we try and test out kind of cool new indie RPGs that are coming out from different people. So it's a really good place to learn new games that are out there. And then every other Saturday, I run a game of Blades in the Dark, which is a RPG where you all get to be scoundrels in this kind of weird steampunk city. This version of that I am running is a little softer. They're all academics at the university in this town, and they are more trying to save the day and get artifacts taken back from rich idiots than they are being evil criminals. It is a lot of fun. It's really fun to watch. So that's every other Saturday in the afternoon, 2 to 5. I think that's it. This is a great place to hang out. And right now we all need entertainment and we need company and community. So thank you to all my fabulous players. Thank you to Jess. Thank you to Delicia for letting us do this. Because if I didn't get to hang out with people, I don't know what I'd do. So thank you. And good night, I guess. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Tip your performers.
Tip her. Tip her. Tip her.
Tip everyone. Tip them. Tip
Tip them.
Tip them.
Everyone.
I think we're good.
Woo!